Might actually be back this time. So, hello everybody. For those of you wondering where I was, there was a problem with my video card. Namely, it stopped working. And it's a gigabyte video card. And obviously, I'm going to do the annoying streamer thing and say, never buy another gigabyte product again. No, I'm not exactly crazy about their customer service. It wasn't particularly dreadful, but it is one of the few times that I've had to replace computer hardware because it stopped working rather than, just became obsolete. So I don't know if 4 years is expecting too much of a video card, because I think I just crossed over 4 years. But one way or the other, I was hoping to hold out until next year for it. I value streaming and, just being able to do game stuff a little more. You know what? Let's watch Battletech. I really like that intro. I've actually been getting a little bit more back into Battletech overall, because obviously this is not the newest Battletech game anymore. MechWarrior 5 just came out. I'm kind of interested in it, but I've heard the story leaves something to be desired. And I'm having a really good time with this one. Obviously, Harebrained Schemes is the company by... Hey, Lyrozider! Great to see you. Guys, let me take a quick minute here and shout out Lyrozider, although there's not too many people watching right now, so I'll do that a little bit later. Lyrozider, I know more so from another game called A Simulator, but he is also a streamer, and actually a really nice guy as well as being a good streamer. So the mainstays that I've usually seen have been... sort of the Jackbox games or XCOM. I think you also do The Sims every once in a while. But anyways, for those of you who are watching on YouTube, you can check him out at twitch.tv/Lyrozitor, Lyrositor, and then I'll be sure to give credit where credit is due later on in the stream. Did you ever play Battletech, either as a RPG? I actually never played the RPG, but as a board game or any of the other MechWarrior style games? You did a lot of Elite Dangerous for a while too. Yeah, no problem. I mean, it's kind of nothing I can give you right now just because I got started, but no idea what this is. Okay, this is great. So the company that made... This is also for the benefit of anybody who's, who wants to know a little bit about the background of this game. So there's a company called FASA that made Battletech. They made a game called Earth Dawn, which I know nothing about, and then they made another franchise, which probably is its most popular one, called Shadowrun. William Gibson, I think, hated Shadowrun, but basically you can sort of think of cyberpunk with fantasy elements. So there's this idea that there's this great transformation that happens to the world, and it reintroduces magic. But it reintroduces magic in a world that has definitely gone down sort of these William Gibson style lines. And so one of the first things that Harebrained Schemes did, not the first was actually a tablet game that I really like called Crimson Steam Pirates. So if anyone at Harebrained Schemes is listening, or Paradox, please bring back Crimson Steam Pirates. That famous HBS intellectual property. So they went to Kickstarter to make a game called Shadowrun Returns, and there are 2 sequels to it. There's Shadowrun Dragonfall, which was originally a DLC, but it was so big and so great that it's now a standalone game. And then Hong Kong. And the founder of FASA was a guy named Jordan Weissman, who seems to just make companies in his spare time. And basically, Harebrained Schemes sort of came back to these properties, which had since, I think, got sold to Microsoft. So not every MechWarrior or Battletech game is necessary. Like, they're all made by different companies, but this is sort of a return to the sort of the creators of the game. And it takes a turn-based approach. I actually don't know. I think there was like Crescent Hawk's Revenge or something like that. I think a couple of the very early Battletech games were turn-based ones. Like, these are like DOS games. But yeah, I mean, the intro cutscene is actually kind of nice because it does a really nice job of summarizing the sort of the lore of it. The basic idea of the game, or the setting, is, I gotta find, there we go. November 22nd is when we discovered the video card problem, so we've been waiting a while. Basically, humanity develops interstellar travel, the jump ships. It forms a Star League under, I think the guy's name was Richard Cameron. Maybe Richard Cameron was the one who fell. Anyway, so there's a Star League to sort of unite humanity into a golden age. The sort of young leader of the Star League several generations later is betrayed, and basically it falls apart amongst these great noble houses. And this leads to the Succession Wars, where basically, I think this is maybe not exactly where the game takes place, but essentially you're playing this game in this period of division. So that's a terrible summary of the Battletech story, but what I'm basically trying to say is, think of the fall of ancient Rome. That's probably the best where it goes. Yeah, exactly. And one of the major technological changes with this Star League, or actually no, sorry, I think they predated the Star League. Anyways, warfare has been changed by these large things called battle mechs, sort of these bipedal giant robots that, although compared to other mechs, they're actually relatively small. So like if you take a look at a mech from like a totally different franchise and take a look at Battletech mech, I think the Battletech mechs are smaller in terms of scale. But anyways, this game, essentially there's sort of the darkest dungeon element of managing your mercenary company. So you're going to be putting upgrades to your ship. You're going to be managing your mech warriors. You're going to be skilling them up. You're going to be, managing the payroll and whatnot. This is my character, Beefeater, Andre Chion. The story of this particular one is there's a woman, Kamea Arano. She is betrayed by her uncle, who essentially stages a coup to institute a dictatorship in, what is it? The capital's Coromadir. I can't remember the name of the, I can't remember the name of the political entity.
Quite a step up from the Leopard, isn't it?
Maybe it'll say here.
Dr. Murad. This Argo is a hell of a ship.
So the Directorate is the name of the bad guy. I cannot remember. No, you know what? I bet we'll find it in the... So the great houses here, the Federated Suns, Draconis Combine, Capellan Confederation, Free Worlds League, Lyrian Commonwealth are major houses. And then we're in an area known as the Periphery. So the Taurian Concordat, the Magistry of Canopus, the local pirate organization are sort of these fringe groups, but influential inside of sort of the area that we're operating. And apparently... Oh, the Urano Rest. Okay, so it doesn't actually say the name of the place. But yeah, essentially, so there are rules in the tabletop game for... there are rules in the tabletop game for combined arms, but really, like there are tanks inside of this game, but more so as like enemy units. And this really, what you're doing is you're managing your mercenary company. They have an interesting sort of loot system. So a big thing about the board game is taking scrap and trying to keep your technology going. And obviously paying the bills and whatnot. But yeah, effectively here we're a mercenary company. We have had our debts paid by Lady Urano, who we've previously worked with, and we're attempting to try and get her to retake her throne. So the way we're going to be doing that is by doing missions. Now, I have been meaning to do some dialogue options for a while, but I have been waiting to play Battletech for so long, and I suspect some of you guys want to see what this game looks like, that I'm going to jump straight into the mission, which I've tried to play 4 different times, and my technical problems have kept me from doing so. We're going to do the B team. Quick word, just before we get too deep into it. I was given a key for this from Paradox. Now, this is for the latest DLC called Heavy Metal. This, by the way, this link inside here, I got ahead of myself, so don't worry about that one quite yet. So keep that in mind. I was given this key with the intention of sort of showing you the game for promotional purposes. I do have a Humble link, so if you do use the Humble link, I do get a little bit of money for it, but the reason you should get Heavy Metal is because it is a solid DLC to a really fun strategy game. But obviously, if you... Sorry, I like hearing the dialogue in the background, but you probably can't hear it here. But yeah, obviously, if you're making a purchase decision based off of this stream or otherwise want to know my interests, there it is. I've been given a key from the developer. I was a Kickstarter backer, and I bought the previous 2 DLC, Flashpoint and Urban Warfare, on my own dime. But with that in mind, one of the reasons I'm playing it right now is to make up for the fact that I was given a Heavy Metal key and I haven't streamed it in the last week or so. That other link that I gave there is because of the Paradox angle. There is a Humble bundle going on right now that I think some of you might enjoy. It is the Paradox Management Bundle. The kind of donate anything tier is the main selling feature for that one, I would say, is Prison Architect. I believe you can get City Skylines if you pay at the average or above. I believe the average is about $8.50 right now. City Skylines is wonderful, by the way. You get a couple of DLC with that. Obviously, I was playing that on Xbox, and of course, that key was also provided by Paradox. But in the case of my PC version, that I bought on my own, actually in a similar bundle to that. And then if you pay $18 or above, you get Surviving Mars, and I believe all of the major content DLC. So that's Project Laika with all of the pets, that Space Race with the additional factions, and Green Planet, so you can turn Mars from green to red. And I think $18 is a pretty fair price to get all of that stuff, plus, of course, all of the other things in the other tiers. If you buy using that link, I get to see a little bit of money from it. In fact, I believe you get to set how much you put towards me, but that's all of my advertising out of the way. So we're training a group of mech warriors to act as a local defense force, and we'd like you to assist in their training. There's a decommit. Yeah, by the way, one of the reasons I'm plugging all this stuff is I just spent a lot of money on a video card. So there's a decommissioned directorate base that we need to take ownership of. As it's undefended, this is the perfect opportunity for our trainees to practice operating as a team in a low-risk environment. We need you to send along a single experienced mech warrior to keep an eye on them and model good behavior for them. Seems like a mission where afterwards we'll say it was supposed to be undefended. Commander, be prepared. So max pay 721,600 are right now. I decided to go for extravagant finances, so we're looking at about $500,000 a month in terms of costs. Max salvage 315, max reputation +7. Of course, I don't work for free. So I think in this case, we'll just go for the normal ones. This wouldn't cover my bills on its own, but I think we're actually in the black already anyway. So, Kamea Arano, the Arano Restoration. We've come a long way together, old friend, but I fear I have yet another favor to ask of you. Our fortunes are married together. Aid us, and we will aid you, as it's always been. We would not ask this of a lesser ally. Okay. So... Oh, hang on. Let me go to the mech bay and get these repairs underway. So the reason why I'm doing this particular mission is because I...
Oh. Set up like this, there's nothing I can't do.
I want to get some money for not putting too many of my mechs at risk. I have some repairs that I need to do. Let's get the... So the Spider's been under repair for a while. So Blackjack's only going to take a day, Shadowhawk 3 days, and then the Spider. Financial report comes up in 10 days, so obviously the Spider won't be available until later. But that's fine because we've usually been putting the Scout guy in a heavier mech anyway. Anyways, I'm not doing a really good job of selling everyone on the game here, but that was an example of sort of the management style of the game. So you have pilots, but you also have mechs for them. So this mission here, we already decided that we were going to do that back when I discovered my my technical problems. I wanted to get my main character, Beefeater, a little bit more experience, so I'm going to send him on the training mission. If I wanted to get the most out of the Centurion, which is going to be a little bit more, at least the way I'm playing it, is a little more melee focused, I'd probably want to send in Decker or Behemoth. So Behemoth because of the high piloting and basically the ability to absorb a lot of damage, and then Decker basically just for the high piloting and maybe a chance to build up their abilities. But in this case, Beefeater, they're not going to be as strong with the melee, but I do want to get them some experience. So there's going to be a little bit of a wait because I loaded the... this is the first time loading Battletech in a while, and it's going to be reading off of the hard drive, so it's a little slow. I would switch it to the SSD, but I've actually got a lot of stuff on there right now, so... I'm also really curious, of course, if anything crashes or I'm otherwise not able to work. I've slightly adjusted the stream settings for the... Oh, can you guys see my... I didn't realize my FPS little counter was showing. Oh, it's not there anymore. But yeah, I've switched to software encoding for a little while. I just want to see if that works. Obviously, my CPU is now my weakest part of my computer. But the only reason I switched to the NVEC encoding was so I could play Anthem, and I actually haven't done Anthem on stream for a while. So I'm just a little curious. I want to see whether or not I run into any problems, and if you guys happen to notice any choppiness or whatever. This doesn't count because it's loading, but after this, I would be very interested to know.
Command interface initiated.
So all we gotta do is just walk in there and stand around? This job sounds like bullshit to me. I want to learn how to shoot, not stand around. I don't know. This mission sounds good to me. I need more practice driving this thing anyway. Let's confirm the base is undefended, Commander. Move up to this location and you should be able to get eyes on the base. Can we blow up some of the buildings? Alright. So again, normally I would be choosing my entire team, but we've got the whole point of this mission is to send people along. This is, I believe, hex-based, but they don't actually make the hexes explicit. And if this seems a little bit like, oh, interesting. So I am losing a few frames. I will remember for next. I'll remember for next time to go for hardware encoding then. But yeah, so basically, the whole idea behind this mission is that I've got these trainees brought in, which means I'm going to have to risk fewer mech warriors and fewer mechs. But you've got your main action, so movement, attack, so on and so forth. It's kind of turn-based. Think XCOM. The location of the damage matters. So if your mech is getting particularly weak in one area, you're going to want to. You're going to want to sort of angle it so that the enemy doesn't take advantage of it. There are a few ideas that the pilots do sort of... I don't think they... like, so it's not that you're simulating your movement inside of the mech, but there's the idea that the pilot does have quite a degree of control over it, so you can brace yourself to take less damage. It's more so that you're sort of positioning yourself and you are manipulating your mech in such a way that you will make the most of the situation, or make the best of a bad situation is probably the better way. And we'll see a little bit later on that terrain and heat matters. In fact, we're on a tundra biome, which means that we'll generate less heat for our actions. Some other things that'll be in play right now. We're doing maximum movement speed because of the just because we're not at a point where we see anybody. Moving along roads will mean that my mechs move faster. Of course, different mechs have different different speeds. What else was I going to say? And then, yeah, once we detect enemies, it'll switch to a turn-based mode. But right now, we need to get to this area. I do want to be a little careful that I don't let my commando get too far out ahead, because obviously, you know, it's nice to have scout mechs. But anybody who's played MechWarrior Online in a assault mech will know. Generally, you'd like to have some faster ones, you know, helping you out on your flank. One of the challenges of MechWarrior Online is that your teammates really want to get into the action, and unfortunately that means when you're in one of those... Oop. There's the base up ahead. It looks empty. That sucks. Can I shoot some of the buildings anyway? I'm picking up engine signatures, boss. Reinforcements, and they're heading your way. Oh shit, oh shit. I don't want to die. Get your lance to that base, Commander, and hold out till our employer can get some more people on the ground. Hey, Darius, didn't they say the base was decommissioned? Yes? Why? Do you have something? Those are turrets, boss, and they're not offline. They're powered up and pinging me and the Leopard. Turrets? Are they going to shoot at us? Wait, I thought this was... Hell yeah! Live fire, baby! Alright, so yeah, I don't want my commando running too far ahead because that is a fairly weak mech. Obviously the Centurion... So the interesting thing about the Centurion is it's designed to take a lot of punishment. I don't actually want it to take enough that I'm going to have to pay to repair it though. Because obviously this is sort of a force that my employer is going to be using. So I don't need to carry these mechs with me into the next mission. I do need to carry the Centurion with me. So this is like the definition of mercenary at this point. Oh, I forgot we're in turn-based mode now, so we'll brace instead. My other guys, though, I'm gonna do a sprint. You can also, some mechs have jump jets, so actually this will get me a little bit further, but I'm gonna want to fire the PPC, I think. Can I get a shot? No. Okay, so this one I'm gonna run.
Double time. Let's go.
Hey, Captain Zerge, how you doing?
Commander?
Urban mechs are really slow. So again, we want to get this guy sprinting. I'm gonna make him sprint off to the side just because I want to make sure that my Centurion's able to get over the hill pretty quick. The other thing I could attempt, of course, is to go out and around to the base this way, but I don't know. I like taking the high ground if I can. So, and we've got Beefeater again. I want to get Beefeater and the Centurion straight into the fight right away. So, if you want to, you can always zoom in and get a little bit of a better view of the action.
Show them what you got.
Okay, let's start with Stubbles, my Panther. So he's got a weapon called the PPC. This will be pretty good if I can aim it at one of the turrets. And the game will give you an idea about what you're dealing with. So if I put him here, he potentially lands on something that will unbalance him, also potentially put him in harm's way. Let's start here.
Acknowledge.
So it'd be nice to put him in some cover, but I do want to make sure that I'm able to deal with the turret here. So we will fire. Okay. I'm not sure what the sensors impaired does. I'm going to assume it gives it a lower chance to hit. But it's over, Anakin. I have the high ground. How you doing, Genta? By the way, thank you very much, guys, for showing up. I know I've been gone for a while. Oh, that was something I was going to explain as well. So I did say I had a contingency plan if if the like if the video card well and truly died. So I suppose it invites the question why I didn't stream while I was getting the replacement. I actually had a couple of projects I wanted to do, and there was a specific game I had in mind to stream. So I'm a little nervous about putting him out to the flank like this, but I don't know, he's got a high speed, so let's at least get an eye on whatever's out there. Again, if this guy gets caught, he's in a lot of trouble, so I want to make sure that that he's around. But these little chevrons here indicate basically he's hard to hit because he moved really quickly, so he should be fine. Yeah, anyways, so the specific game I had in mind is actually a really popular one. And I was thinking about it, and I figured it was kind of likely that people would really want to see me finish that one. So if I was able to get my card back quickly, I just decided to take the break. I got a lot of very cool stuff done. Okay, so he got a little bit more damage than I thought he would. Oh wow, they really want him. So all those missed. Again, notice his evasion's going down because he's getting shot at. Ooh, that is some serious damage.
Heads up, Commander. You've got hostile contacts inbound.
Okay, so I definitely want this guy into a safer position. But I still want him to be able to do some damage. It's not a lot for options, to be honest. Okay, there's bad guys over here. This will give me my best evasion, so I'm gonna go for it. But I'm gonna make sure that the angle is all right. So I do very sincerely hope that he lands this. Nice. So basically, 2 PPCs to take out a turret. So this is one thing that's neat about the game here is that you get radio contacts, and there are abilities that will allow you to sort of see things, but like you can see the whole point of having something like a scouting mech like this. You want to make sure that you're positioned in such a way that you're able to make the most of your mechs, because there will be ones that are sort of like missile boats. So an example of that would be a mech like the Trebuchet, which has a lot of long-range weapons. And then you have mechs which are a lot better at sort of getting in people's face and brawling and whatnot. So these are fairly light mechs. And again, I'm taking advantage of my commando's speed here, but I don't want to give them too many opportunities to hammer him. So first best is if I can get a shot off. First best is to maximize my evasion. Second best is to actually get a shot. So this gives me 2 chevrons. Okay, so all my moves give me 2 chevrons. This is a little risky because this is a pretty forward position. But this fire starter doesn't have any evasion. So this is a rare opportunity to be able to cause a bit of damage to them. So again, I'm not crazy about 2 chevrons, but it was the best I could have hoped for, and still be able to shoot. I'm also going to do something. Oh, sorry, that's spider and spider. Sorry, I thought that was a fire starter. In this case, I'm also going to try and shoot one of the legs. And again, this is just to try, especially with light mechs, if you can take out a leg, they're pretty much done for. So good chances to hit the thing standing still. I'll do what I can to ruin this guy's day. What happens if a mech goes down? It depends on... Oh, wow, that guy definitely took some damage. It depends on the extent of the damage. You can lose... Basically, the mech can become a write-off if it takes too much damage. But it's entirely possible to have a mech heavily damaged. So, like, one of the things you can do is you can actually take the enemy team's mechs for scrap in the game. Okay, so it looks like the legs are pretty... Legs are pretty good. So he's got a total between his armor and structure, it's 90. So as powerful as the autocannon is, it's not going to do enough. His leg has 30 armor. Yeah, so I can't really... I can't actually take this thing out in one shot. But let's try and go for the headshot.
Engaging target.
Oh, we got it. But yeah, so in some situations, the mech can fall, and in that case, your
Detected.
oh Jesus Christ, that's 2 sensor locks. This guy is in serious trouble.
Losing armor. Hell yes.
But yeah, you there's basically if you're
Standing by.
okay, pontoon can't do anything.
I'm receiving you.
Okay, sorry, I need to answer questions. So if it falls down, it's just a question of damage. If it goes down, as in, like, it takes enough damage, it either loses both legs, the head, or the center are taken out. It's possible the pilot can die. Definitely you're going to need to do extensive repairs to it. And it's also possible it can be lost, but it's not guaranteed. So for instance, I'm going to need to repair this structural damage. In fact, it's almost completely lost its left arm here, so I want to be a little careful in terms of exposing it. But I do also want to use it to I do want to use this mech to take out the turrets. So we'll fire our PPC and hope for the best. Hopefully I'll be giving you some demonstrations of mechs falling in a minute. So this is another light mech, the Locust, and it missed the Commando, who actually hasn't got that much evasion, so I think I want to move Guano next.
Standing by.
Okay, so again, the key with light mechs is to always keep them moving, so that they get their evasion bonus. My right-hand side has lost its armor, so if I lose the right torso, I'm also going to lose the right arm. So I'm going to do... Basically, I'm going to move and I'm going to expose as much of my left-hand side to them as I can while still being able to fire. So I'm going to get the 3 chevrons of evasion. I'm going to get the... I'm going to get sort of my better side facing them. The one drawback here is that they've all had some pretty rapid movement, so the chances of being able to deliver any serious damage is pretty remote. So I can say, all right, maybe I'll try and go for the Locust because it has less evasion. Maybe instead I want to go for the Spider because that'll be the most likely thing that my Centurion goes after, and this Spider is out of my range. So in this case, I think I'm going to spread the love, and we will go after the Locust. Normally I'd want to try and take out one of its legs, but in this case here, I think I'm just going to try and take down the Chevron. Alright, so a little bit of damage, but nothing too special. Is there any field maintenance possible to repair damage? Not that I know of inside the game. So the idea here is that armor repairs are for free, but you do not want to lose body parts. Although again, that will not stop you from being able to participate in the fight. Now, this is a bit of a dilemma here. So I can decide to go after this Spider with my Urban Mech, or I can try and help out my PPC bearer with a shot on the turret as well. I only have 8 shots with the autocannon, so I think in this particular case here, I'm going to put it in a scary position. The other thing, too, is that there's not really a high chance of success, but I'm going to go for it, and I'm actually going to do the precision strike. So, again, very unlikely we'll get this headshot, but if we do, it's brilliant. No. What allows you to do those targeted strikes are your resolve. So you get a certain amount of resolve as the turns go by, and then also decisions that you make outside of the game will affect those. Now, my Centurion's doing what it's supposed to do. It's got a lot of armor. It stands up in the front, and it's definitely here specifically to sort of draw fire. Now, best is if I can get it in a position to take some cover. but I also kind of want to get it in the fight. I think in this particular case here, I'm actually going to move it behind the woods just because I don't know what this thing is yet. And I do have this spider that I can sort of ruin the day of. Now, unfortunately, I don't have any precision strike left, but let's maybe see if I can do something with the multi-target. So I've got A and B. This is a special ability my character has. So I'm going to focus everything on B, and everything that has kind of a bad chance of hitting, I'm going to switch to A. So again, we're losing 15% on that, but it's not terrible, right? Remember that this is the spider that, sorry. Yeah, so A is the spider that, no, hang on, I have this wrong. Yeah, A is the spider that I got the headshot on, and B is sort of a fresh spider. So the hope here is that A, it's unlikely I'm going to get a headshot, but if I can get something else that damages the pilot, that's good for me. And then this other target here, again, it doesn't have a lot of evasion, so if I can throw some like lasers or an autocannon at it, that makes me happy.
Engaging multiple targets.
All right, so basically all armor damage there. We'll see how they respond. Okay, whatever that is, it's got some serious firepower.
I've been sensor locked.
Oh, that's going to be ugly. Okay, so what are we looking at with...
Standing by.
The Exception, how are you doing, you handsome man? Thank you very much for 23 months. My God, what is wrong with you, sir? Thank you. I always appreciate seeing a subscription, let alone a resubscription from an individual of your caliber. I hope you're doing well. Obviously, we're enjoying Battletech. I'm noticing I get a little bit of stuttering on the frame rate with the software encoding, so I will fix that next time. I'm doing all right now that I've got a working graphics card. So I want to be a little careful with these hexes because a dropship. It says a dropship's going to land here, so my mech will get destroyed if they go to that spot. I like this because it's in cover, it's in the trees, and it still gives me a shot on the turret that's causing me some difficulty. My evasion is going to be lower because of the sensor lock, but again, if I can do something to take out the turret, that's better. I disabled the SRM because my heat would be too high. Obviously, we're on the tundra biome, so the heat sinks do work better, but that doesn't mean that you can ignore heat. In this case here, you know, the PPC is a fairly high heat weapon, and using your jump jets is definitely not a way to cool down. So,
Let's do this. One less turret.
okay, so good news there. Next priority is going to be to move Guano, I think. Although my Centurion is pretty exposed. Actually, I don't think they're really going after Guano right now. So again, it's just all damage on the armor, but it's going to get a little weak soon, so... what's Pontoon got? You know what? I do have a... It's not a perfect shot, but it's a decent shot. And that spider doesn't have any... So again, I'm foolishly going for the head here, but...
10-4. Scored a critical hit.
It did all right though. Took out the arm and the... Oh, what the hell do you call it? The torso. It is, and your obviously your subscription money is going towards paying for the card. Thank you for that. Okay, so I can't move the Centurion because he's not in the position of the on the initiative, but I do have Guano available. 2 subscriptions. The Eyes of Sin, you darling woman, how are you doing? Thank you very much for resubscribing for 28 months in a row. For those of you who do not know her, the Eyes of Sin is responsible for the emotes that you see in chat. So she's the one who gave the excellent System HMM emote. There's actually some other ones that I've been sitting on, but I'm waiting for a special occasion to show it off. So it's only foolish till the headshot connects, then it's a party. Exactly, Foxu. I always try and go for the miracle moments if I can. Okay, so again, I'm not crazy about this move with the commando because again, it's got very exposed structure, and 3 chevrons is not a lot to write home about, but I do actually need to start I need to start delivering on some of this punishment. So this spider is closest, so I think the Centurion's going to be able to handle them. I think in this case, ooh, I have an idle locust. Now, but this one's already taken some damage, so in this case, let's see if we can bring this thing home.
Run.
Oh, we hit something squishy in there. Shadowhawk. All right, this is going to be a little tricky. Oh, I went for my commando. But the good news is that he's not in... Oh, I can't do melee with... I was really hoping I'd be able to. So I want to be careful that I don't wind up flanked by the spider here. I mean, I can kind of afford it. You know what? I can actually I can fire on multiple targets. So in this case, I am going to do a move and shoot. I get to see everything in my field of view. This is in some ways really, really stupid because this is opening me up to some shots to the back. But again, this character here in particular is able to fire on multiple targets, and there are actually a few targets which are kind of idle. So let's just spread the love. I'm not necessarily going to fire on all of these things, but priority number 1 is going to be target A because that's the biggest threat to this unit right now. And then probably B. I may not actually do anything to C, but okay. So C's got the best chance. Okay. So again, I'm just trying to make sure that I'm able to make the most. All right, and I don't actually really like these chances, but I do need to deliver something on A. I'm not sure if this will be enough to kill, but it'll be close enough. So let's do the Alpha Strike. Is it often preferable to melee when you're in range? In some ways, Lyrazider. So there are, again, this is a much heavier mech than the thing that it's going to be fighting. There's also some benefits in terms of being able to ignore cover or evasion. So for instance, if you get some of these like spiders and locusts, which have been running around and have like a lot of the evasion chevrons, going up and punching it is a great way of handling it. But I'll also admit, like, the Centurion is not the heaviest mech that you can bring in. Like, the Atlas is really the one where you get a lot of fun smashing stuff. But yeah, it can be preferable to use melee in certain cases. Plus, it just looks cool.
Engaging multiple targets.
All right, so we took out its arm. Oh, and it was a head hit, so that guy is almost done. Okay, so that thing lost a weapon. That's good news for us. And it was all armor damage to that locust, but I can't complain about that round. So yeah, unsurprisingly, they're going after the Centurion. Now, the structure is exposed on its weak side, so if I lose an arm on this one, this is going to be a bit painful.
I got a sensor lock on me.
So again, the preference is that the rookies are the ones that take all of the damage because I don't need to take them with me. Okay, so I'm going to do something a little different here. In the case of the Panther, I'm actually going to move it last because it's very unlikely to be involved in any of the material here. I'd kind of like to move Stubble, my urban mech. Sorry, Stubble's not my urban mech. Pontoon is my urban mech. But Guano's only got 2 chevrons, so and they may be able to make the difference on taking out one of these rival mechs. So
Coordinates received.
again, 3 chevrons, nothing to be proud of, but it does move them out of the range of that Shadowhawk too. So this is not the worst positioning in the world. I do get a precision strike if I'm so inclined, so it's very likely we will be able to take out that. So that's only 13 left in the center. And no, I'm definitely gonna prioritize this spider. The reason for that is if I take this one out, yeah, we're not getting a lot of scrap out of that. So the reason I prioritize that one is that if I get my Centurion to run into melee range, Jesus Christ, they're hitting all the weak spots. If I move the Centurion in to take out the guy to the left, that exposes his back to the really tough ones. So,
Commander?
all right, no, I want pontoon and their autocannon. So,
Affirmative.
how you doing, Ego Karen? I am doing all right. We've got the new video card in. My frame rate's suffering a little bit because of the software encoding, but nothing to get too upset about. Again, not a lot of autocannon ammo, so I want to make everything count. Oh, if you get this headshot, you are a hero, pontoon.
Roger.
Oh!
Enemy eliminated.
Ready for orders.
That felt really good. All right. So, one thing I would love to do is to reorient this Panther to participate in this fight here. The drawback is that it's the left arm, which has got 5 structure left. That's going to be facing off against. So all of the attacks are going to be coming from the left. So the fact is that the side that the Panther needs to be showing the enemy right now is the one that's going to leave them exposed. So let's just take a minute here. I've got the high ground here. Actually, this is an interesting possibility. So it doesn't get him out of the woods with the arm thing, but it does make him a little more forward facing, and it does allow me to get that PPC shot on the Locust. Oh, god damn it. All right. It's too hot. I don't want to run the risk of having some kind of damage. So 50% chance to take out the Locust with those SRMs, but it lets me do something. So. Oh, God bless you, Ego Karen. Thank you very much for thinking of me. Ooh, they are mad at that urban mech. Again, it's totally fine.
Reporting internal damage.
It's totally fine that that one got internal damage because I don't need to repair it at the end of the fight. Oh, can I not melee these guys? I'm calling BS on that. Okay, so again, I want to make sure that this is actually a really nice shot for my. This is a really nice spot for my Centurion to be in because they have sort of the mountain to protect the left side, which is getting a bit weaker. And I'm going to be able to just do a straight up alpha strike on the Shadowhawk. Now this thing it's not going to like hollow it out or anything like that, but I am going to be able to deliver some hurt before it tries to do any kind of a reply.
They got a lock on me.
Okay, that didn't hit anything important.
Using lots of armor.
Rub some dirt on it. All right. All the good people are coming in. Pontoon does not have a lot of evasion right now, and I really do like that fancy autocannon they're using. So, is there anything exciting I can do with that? So they're exposed on the right-hand side. My favorite move would be one... Okay, so there's not a lot of options in terms of conventional movement, but the big thing is that the urban mech also has jump jets, which I think will be slightly more effective in terms of evasion as well. So, let's see, I get 2 chevrons. Yeah, so everything gets 2 chevrons. I am more inclined to go for the Shadowhawk, even though that there are some obstructions. Well, not really here. Okay, let's just take a quick look at what the range on the... Oops.
Standing by.
Autocannon is a long-range weapon. Alright, so my jumping options aren't quite as good as I thought they were. I don't like the obstruction, but it gives me a little more evasion than I would have had. It's unlike... Oh no, sorry. I thought for a second that the left leg was really weak. So this is a really high chance to hit, and it's weak. So if I can take out the leg on this thing on this shot, this is a huge boon for my Centurion. Oh, so close. Maybe maybe Guano will be able to do something about that. I'm pretty sure that Locust is going to be coming. Oh no, they're probably going to go after the Panther. All right.
I'm wounded.
So that's unfortunate. Obviously, that's an ally mech. This says that I can do a melee attack, but I don't want to do that right now because I have the chance of being able to deliver some pain on that Shadowhawk.
Order received.
So again, I'm risking my commando doing this, but I'm gonna have some other units on the board that I can do some work with here. Now, the important thing is that I'm not able to do a targeted strike, but the SRM, because it's a ballistic weapon, is going to be able to do some damage to its stability, and that's a good second best. It also looks like it's on rough terrain. So in this case, it's actually going to be, it's possible. I don't think the 10 SRMs are going to be enough to knock it over, but we have a lot of really good chances here to potentially knock this thing down. So, oh, just shy of what we needed.
Waiting for order.
All right, so Stubble's still cooling down. Is there a way I can bring them in on the? I can bring them in on the Shadowhawk party.
Up high.
May not be my smartest move. Okay.
Locking on.
That was a head hit? Oh, cool. And Beefeater gets to take his move. So, let's go for good old-fashioned melee attack. I could join him on the rocky terrain, but in this case, I'm just going to enjoy watching him get knocked over when I run up to his side.
Engaging physical attack.
And he lost his leg.
Enemy mech. Critical damage detected.
And the pilot's going to take some damage for being knocked down. So, it's knocked him back in initiative. I think he'll be standing up next round anyway, but yeah. This is not a particularly good round for him, and the fact that one of his legs is already damaged is going to be a huge benefit to me. Although he's probably going to try some funny business. So this is a huge benefit to my Centurion, because if I want, I can just run around the back and like nail him in the rear armor.
Damage minimal.
Okay, let's figure out what I'm going to do. I think Guano's probably in the most compromised position right now. So the Locust has actually got... the Locust has quite a few chevrons on them. So in this case, I'm going to do something really bold, and we're going to get the Commando to just run in and punch the Locust. This is light mech on light mech, so this is like a nerd slap fight. And he missed. Well, fortunately, that wasn't fatal. So let's get
Orders?
Stubble. Stubble doesn't have anything too interesting to do right now, so let's take
I'm here.
Pontoon.
10-4.
Again, Pontoon's been doing the Lord's work for the last little while. So let's see, is there a chance of hitting... If I can take out that other leg, that would be glorious.
Copy that.
We did. All right.
Yes, Commander.
Okay, sadly I'm not able to... I'm trying to find a way to get a shot on the locust without putting myself into too much danger. Well, I guess I'll have a little bit of peril.
Location confirmed.
So again, this is exposing my weak side to the enemy. That's the one thing I don't like about this. But I am able to do an alpha strike, so.
Inflicted some heavy damage.
Okay, so the tough call here is whether or not I want to do a melee attack or whether or not I want to try and go for its legs. In this case, I think I'm just going to punch it again.
Engaging physical attack.
Especially because it knocks it down. So he's probably going to stand up again, but if we get another knockdown like that, we should be able to injure him, and that'll take out the pilot. I am astonished that that commando didn't lose anything. Oh, it's definitely going to lose something on this.
My internals are taking a beat.
How are you still alive? Okay, we gotta get Guano to safety. Again, first best is safety, second best is being able to target the enemy. I can try a bold... Oh god, this is so bad. I'm gonna do a bold melee attack on the Shadowhawk. This is so stupid. Oh, I took out its autocannon. Oh, yeah, that Locust is not having any of that, though.
Armor blow through. Internal damage.
Okay, so this is a really interesting situation. The best I can do is if between Pontoon and Stubble, I'm able to take down this Shadowhawk. That's going to leave my Centurion available to just stomp this Locust. So
Commander?
we'll start with Stubble, and I want to get the best shot that I can on the Shadowhawk here. Even if that means that I have to traverse the rough terrain. All right, so all of it's still going to be covered, but...
Confirmed.
And I'm slightly curious if I'm able to do a... No, I can't do a precision strike. But again, there's a possibility. There's only 7 structure left on that leg. So...
Roger that.
Yep. We just took out both legs.
Target eliminated.
So that's also going to mean a lot of salvage for us at the end of the mission.
I'm receiving you.
Okay, so I've also got my beautiful urban mech. I'm mildly curious if the jump... Okay, jump jets won't do a whole lot here, so let's just go for a straight rear strike.
Order acknowledged.
Now, I could do a precision strike, but in this case, a hit to the back is going to be pretty crappy for anything, so...
Confirmed.
And now, these are the moments I live for on the melee attack, Lyro, if you're watching. Because this is definitely a bit of a weight mismatch.
Engaging physical attack.
That's it, Commander. Our employer is sending in the cavalry. Good luck. Good work. Oh, really? Come on, I want more targets.
Enemy mech destroyed.
Let's get this done, team.
All right. So obviously I want to keep Guano in reserve because they have taken a lot of damage. But let's get
Standing by.
Stubble up on their old Old stomping grounds. I think in this case I'll just do a sprint so that I can get him in position for next round,
Going full throttle.
and then I'll move the Centurion up. So again, we're still gonna have to deal with the turrets,
Commander.
but we can deal with the turrets on our own terms now. This urban mech's kind of fresh, so we can.
Commander.
Okay, so Guano, I'm gonna move back for now, because yeah, if I can get by without like losing the rookies, so much the better. Another brace. And again, I don't exactly want to be throwing around my my Centurion because it doesn't have a whole lot of structure left on its I guess that it's its right side, but I do, I do get some choices in terms of what I expose to the enemy. So I think in this case I'm gonna run straight up. This would be exposing my right side, so.
Full throttle.
You live in a collective of disabled people. The city is rehoused as pending renovations in a space that's about the third the size of our usual digs, but we residents pay the operating costs, and those are the same as always. So basically, you're not paying the same rent as always for a third. Do you mean you're paying the same rent as always, or like you're paying less because you're in a different spot, Sangeet?
I'm receiving you.
Sorry, I know that was intended for someone else, but I'm curious. Okay, again, so the biggest problem with the urban mech right now is they only have 2 shots left. Obviously, I was making them do the Lord's work. I think in this case, I'll send him up as a sprint. I'd love to use it as a screening mech, but the thing is, it's light, so it's not exactly going to absorb that much damage. All right, so looks like Stubble doesn't have a whole lot available to them right now. Oh, that's disappointing. So if I sprint... Sprinting basically gets me the same spot jumping does. At least this gives me some... Oh, no, but that doesn't give me the chevrons. I'm going to jump like this, but I'm going to make sure that my more armored side is exposed in case they try anything, and I'll brace. Oh, Jesus.
Waiting for orders.
Okay, again, I don't want to tempt fate on this guy, so I think we'll... if I can sprint him to some kind of, like, forested area, that's best. I guess second best is to just get the maximum chevrons and hope for the best. I should see how much armor is left on this guy. Okay. Still not in range of the bad guys, unfortunately. I suppose I could do a sprint like that. Yeah, so I can do a sprint like that, but I don't get to fire. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to move up. I'm not going to get that many chevrons. But what it is going to get me is a chance to hit the brace. So I'm going to be in cover. I'm going to be able to use the... yeah, no range on that. Vigilance, gain guarded and entrenched and remove all stability damage. Your next initiative is increased by 1. That is quite tempting, to be honest. I think I am going to do vigilance in this case. Gain guarded and entrenched, remove all stability damage. Your next initiative is increased by 1. This is more so just so that we can start cleaning out turrets. Oh, interesting. So the turrets couldn't fire either. All right. Anyways, Beefeater's coming in to deliver justice to the turrets. Hey, is it Sal Bensil 53? Oh. I was having a conversation with a robot. Salad Bensil 53 Ed. Could you please say potato? It would really mean a lot to me as a content creator if you said potato. I will pay you $1,000 for your designs if you say potato. Yeah, Sungif, I didn't see the like the call to action part yet.
Waiting for orders.
Ready for orders.
This jump feels really restricted. Anyways, that's life.
I'm here.
All right, so unfortunately, my positioning wasn't great. In this case, I'm going to be running. I'm going to be running around trying to get the.
Full speed, no target.
Ready.
You mean the bot, Sungift? I mean, sure. The English isn't great until you consider that it's a bot. It's a bot that knows English. Okay, so this commando that's been taking all the damage, it's got 2 structure left in the center. If you get shot in the center, you die. So we're gonna keep Guano safe. So I'm gonna guess that probably all of those sensor locks were coming from the enemy team. Let's see. Okay, not much that the urban mech's gonna do. I'm curious if stubble is. Nope, still not in range. Oh, yeah, still not in range of the target. Okay, well, we'll just do a straight up sprint. They're probably not going to arrive on time to finish the thing off, but we might as well move people in closer.
Standing by.
Again, same story with Pontoon. We'll get them as close as possible, and
Affirmative.
they'll probably be able to finish the job next round.
Standing by.
Guano. God. I'm going to start moving them in because presumably they're going to have to take the area as well, but I'm going to make sure that they are well and truly away from any potential sources of damage, so... Alright, so Beefeater's going to have to fire over the buildings. He might wind up destroying some material, but that's fine because it's big giant stompy mechs. That's usually what one plays these games for, so... Nailed it!
Target destroyed.
Alright, so we just need to capture and we're good to go, so... Guano, I think you're safe. And notice we're back to sprint now because there aren't any enemies in the area. So it does make an effort to try and make it not too tedious to do the turn-based stuff. Well, that was certainly an experience. Darius, I think we should get hazard pay for this kind of mission. Stow it, Mayor. It all worked out fine and we get paid.
Mission successful.
Alright, so that was probably a little more hair-raising than a mission like that should have been, but I'm happy that we only have a few minor repairs to do this to the Centurion. And none of the rookies died. Or maybe we'll call them the younglings. Okay, debrief the Irana restoration. Excellent work, Commander. I was right to put my faith in you. You're a critical part of the restoration effort. So capture the decommission base, success. Eliminate base turret, success. Contract payment increased by 10%. So that's 432,960. Almost enough to cover our costs, I think, actually. So Guano would be out 22 days, except that they're not actually on my team. The Commando's shredded. The Panther's got the arm damage. The Mech a little bit of torso damage. The Centurion's probably a little more damage than I would have wanted it to be, but it's not gonna be the end of the world. So now there's some tasty Shadowhawk salvage, if I'm so inclined. I am kind of looking for a better autocannon. So I guess the question is, do I want to try and take... 2H is a perfect example of jack of all trades. It supports weaponry for all ranges. It has respectable speed and jump capability and mounts decent armor. This comes at the cost of excelling at nothing in particular. You know what? I'm going to take that autocannon. Now, do I want the autocannon ammo? I mean, that costs 20,000. I'm pretty sure I can get ammo anywhere. I think I will take one of the Shadow Hawk bits. And then, of course, it's going to randomly determine 7 additional pieces. So, looks like we got a full spider. LRM ammo, medium laser. We did not get the autocannon ammo, though. Ooh, how was that, the Eyes of Sin? Oh, by the way, Eyes of Sin, I believe you've got some competition from a robot. We're going to need to do some mech repairs before our next contract, boss. Can't go into combat like this. See me in the mech bay when you're ready. Okay. So, again, we didn't suffer too much in terms of repairs, but we do need a little bit of work done. So, 1 day for the Centurion. Centurion's a pretty high priority repair job, so we'll knock that up. Yeah, we'll finish the Blackjack, but... so yeah, it looks like I'm actually waiting... I believe there is a mission where we escort a VIP, so I'd need 3 mechs for that. So I think at most we're down 3 days. But we are going to need to figure out some other things to do. You're out. Have a good time zone appropriate thing. You too, Ego Karen. Thanks a lot for stopping by. How are you guys finding Battletech, by the way? I really like this game, but I don't know if I'm streaming it well. Okay, so I did say I wanted to do some story-based stuff. So let's see what's going on.
I have answers.
Commander Chion, I'm sorry about what happened on Weldry with Sir Raju and all. If only we'd known. I'd have invaded the Directorate myself to get him back, but now it's too late. You said that you knew Mastiff and that you'd fought by his side. I did have that privilege, yes. I didn't know him as well as you did, of course, but we were together in the trenches of the Felder campaign, and I raised a glass with Sir Raju in the canteen on more than one occasion. When you think of the old man, what jumps into your mind? Family. The old man was so damn proud of his family and heritage. There wasn't a drop of noble privilege in his veins, but the Montgomery name carried weight. Hard as nails since the dawn of time, his father used to tell him. Those were his family words and his personal creed, and I can personally attest to their accuracy. When we were fighting alongside the Royal Guard on the Felder campaign, a pirate-driven hunchback managed to flank us. Decker was piloting a Locust at the time, and the bastard took its left leg clean off. The Locust went down hard, and Decker blacked out. He was a dead man, and there was nothing that we could do to keep that hunchback from putting a foot through his cockpit. And it would have, if Mastiff hadn't come charging in with his Centurion. His first punch took the hunchback's main gun clean off. He was totally matter-of-fact about it. It wasn't a desperate swing or a panic move. He just calmly put his fist into the pirate mechan's weapon pod, grabbed it, and wrenched it free from its moorings. It was like, I don't know, like watching a farmer uproot a tree stump. You know, workmanlike. And all the while, we could hear the pirate over an open channel screaming and cursing as he desperately tried to fight back. The old man took the hunchback apart, piece by piece. Imagine a veteran prizefighter locked in a cage with a snot-nosed kid, with no rules or referees in sight. He put on a clinic for everyone to see. The rest of the pirates broke rank and fled when they saw what happened to their friend. Can't say I blame them in their place. I'd have done the same. That's what the Montgomerys were. Warriors for as long as anyone could remember. Born to fight and tempered on the battlefield, and Sir Raju was the last. He never had any children, you know. The Montgomery line died with him. Did he ever show you that enormous knife he used to carry? The kukri? Yeah. You don't see too many of those outside of the Free Worlds League. These days, kukri blades are mostly associated with the 4th Regulan Hussars. Incidentally, for those of you who are interested in the lore for Battletech, it's a little bit like Tyranny or Pillars of Eternity. You can mouse over certain specialized terms and it'll explain. Not Mastiff's, though. He claimed that he'd inherited that curved blade beauty from his grandfather, who'd inherited it from his grandfather, and so on, all the way back to the family's origins on Terra. During the Felder campaign, I saw him use that blade against a pirate twice his size, split the bastard's skull like a rotten cantaloupe. It was horrifying and beautiful all at once. You don't see that kind of skill every day. I wonder what happened to that old blade of his. It wasn't with him on Weldry. Old man must have felt like he lost a piece of himself when the Directorate took that away. Thanks for the talk. Next time we're on shore leave, let's raise a glass to the old man's memory. Yeah, Andre, I'd like that. And so I think would he. I'm pretty sure we've got all the other details from Darius, so yeah, we'll end it here. I'm also going to take a minute to save, just because I'm super paranoid now. Like, we finally got that mission done, so... All right.
Yes.
Commander Tion, welcome to my corner of the command center. From here, I can provide Mr. Oliveira with advice and information whenever he needs it. I want to be a resource to you as well, keeping with my role as Restoration Liaison. I will give you whatever additional information I can about our campaign moving forward. Come see me after any major operation, and I'll share what I can. I'd like to discuss the state of our war against the Directorate. Things are going well enough, Commander. Our initial attack on Weldery was an enormous success, despite the psychological costs of what we discovered there. Still, the Directorate's atrocities have steeled our resolve. I've never seen Lady Orano so determined. Out of curiosity, Commander Tion, what did you think of her speech? I recorded it, you know. The broadcasts are on their way to every corner of Directorate space. It sounded raw, from the heart. Massif would have been proud. Good. That's what I was hoping to hear. The presumption of authenticity will carry us far. For what it's worth, Lady Orano meant every word that she said, but the people may not see it that way. Espinosa's propaganda machine will do everything in its power to tarnish our accomplishments and drag us through the dirt. I can imagine the headlines now. Police and civil servants cut down by weapons of war. Dangerous convict set loose by a traitor, endangering nobles and commoners alike. A dangerous narrative, and one that we'll have to counter at every turn. With luck, many of our people will believe that, what they've heard in our broadcasts over the Directorate's propaganda, but I fear that Espinosa's hardline supporters will be far less eager to listen. If we fail to turn them against the Directorate, we run the risk of ongoing violence, even after we liberate their home systems. That's why messages like Kamea's speech are so important. If the Directorate is using propaganda, we need some of our own. Got it. Sadly, yes. If we're going to win the war, we need to rally the Oregon people, including a percentage of Espinosa's supporters. They have to see that we're better than the Directorate, again and again, until our message is impossible to ignore. For you, that just means military victories. For me, that means more broadcast, spin, and outreach. Public opinion is just another battlefield. I'll be knee-deep in trenches until the day I die. You're new to this crew, so tell me about yourself. I'd be happy to, but honestly, Commander, I've been so consumed with matters of war of late that I wouldn't even know where to begin. Tell me about who you were before Kamea's exile and the Restoration. A noble scion, much the same as you were, from what I understand. As a fellow noble, I'm sure that you already know more than most about my upbringing. It was a life of great privilege and even greater expectation. I spent my early years invested in academic pursuits, the study of history, mathematics, and statecraft. I strove to excel at every subject, anything to avoid disappointing my mother and father. The extent to which they would come to disappoint me is a cruel irony, but one that I've come to accept. What kind of expectations did you have to meet? Do you know House Madeira's motto? Behold our splendor. I had a familial obligation to live extravagantly, and to do so within the public eye, but I was also expected to develop my intellect. My life was 50-50 split between carousing and academic study. In truth, I felt like I was leading two lives and putting on a show for both, but I'll never complain about my upbringing. I've enjoyed advantages that most children of the periphery would only dream of. It must have been hard to have your own parents betray you. Oh, it is. Nothing could be harder. When Kamea retakes her throne, there will be a reckoning, and Directorate collaborators will be tried for their crimes. My mother and father will be at the front of that list, and as terrible as it feels to say it, they'll deserve whatever punishment they receive. I'm sorry to hear it, Lord Madeira. Let's talk about something else. Your apologies are unnecessary. By any metric you care to mention, I've lived a charmed life. The hardships of the past 3 years don't erase a lifetime of privilege that I enjoyed before Espinosa's coup. It would be dishonest of me to pretend that they did. But still, I'm happy to change the subject if you wish. Tell me about Guldra. What kind of world is it? A truly beautiful one. You should really travel there sometime after all this is over and see it for yourself. Imagine lush green lowlands giving way to mile upon mile of white sand coastline, sandy beaches kissed by warm salty seas, and soft rain perfumed with saffron and cardamom. That's not to mention the wildlife. Close your eyes and imagine it, Commander. Shield terns wheeling and soaring, their brilliant plumage glittering in the sunlight, leviathan sablefish flashing silver beneath the waves, dolphinfish leaping, breaching the surface of the water in riotous streaks of yellow and green. Places like Guldra are special, Commander Tion. They must be preserved. This is what we're fighting for, something unspoiled and unique, and ours. something that reminds us of how good the periphery can be. Let's talk about something else. I should go. We'll talk later, Lord Madeira.
Until next time.
Yay! I'm seeing a huge energy surge in the mech bay. Everything okay there?
Yeah, that was me. It's under control.
We'll take a look at the contracts in a second, but let's take a quick minute and see. So again, this is, I believe this is a Mech Warrior character sheet. So far, we have not lost any Mech Warriors. Let's take a look at what we can do with Beefeater. So I believe we're still due for a second skill, and I haven't actually figured out what I want to do with him yet. I think I was thinking about that before the before I had the computer problems. So let's see.
Receiving you.
So one thing that's worth keeping in mind is what sort of secondary skill that I want to get, because I basically get 2 base skills and sort of an advanced one. So I've already gone down the path of gunnery. So breaching shot will always be an option available for me. Attacks with a single weapon, ignore cover and guard it on the target. That's going to be great for glitch. Piloting, mech pilot by this Mech Warrior can move after shooting if it has not moved yet. That seems pretty good. Guts, this unit will remove 50 extra heat this round. For the next 3 rounds, this unit will gain an extra 8 heat. There's a 4 root cooldown. Okay, neat. So that lets me push this thing even further. And then tactics. Mechs piloted by this Mech Warrior gain +1 initiative and remove 1 bar of stability damage when reserving. Interesting. So tactics is a pretty decent skill to have. I'm probably most inclined for the ace pilot or the master tactician. I will admit that I tend to like passive more than active abilities. Extra piloting is also kind of... Actually, I've got 2 people who are like good pilots already. So, I don't know, like gunnery is basically... Sorry, tactics and gunnery is like... I'm pretty much all in on called shots. Now, you know what? I think I am going to go for Master Tactician. And I'm going to like lift everything up.
Good to go.
All right, Behemoth. So question now is for Behemoth, do I want to go for the... Again, do I want to sort of raise everything at the same level, or do I want to go a little bit... The thing is, like, the overheat threshold isn't really that important for the Shadowhawk. The extra piloting is pretty good, though. You know what? I think I'm actually going to move towards getting the special abilities first. So, Decker... I think Decker was going to get the Tactician.
Commander?
Glitch. I think they were primarily a gunner, so following the same rule.
Mech Warrior training complete.
Hey, no problem, The Exception. Thank you again for the resubscription. By the way, guys, just while I'm working this stuff out, I will drop this link again. So for those of you that don't know about it, the Humble Bundle Paradox Management bundle, that thing that I linked there, let me get the exact details. So this is one of these cases where I try not to talk about too many of the bundles because I don't think they're always as relevant, but because I know you guys tend to like the sorts of Paradox stuff that I do, If you pay the $1 tier, you get Prison Architect, which is quite good. You also get the Cities in Motions game, Cities in Motion 1 and 2. But to be honest, if you want Cities in Motion, I would recommend the pay more than the average. Right now, that is $8.19. For that, you get everything in the tier before, but you also get City Skylines, European Suburbia, Green Cities, Synthetic Dawn Radio. I think those are the DLC that you get for cities at that base level. You also get some extra DLC for Cities in Motion and Cities in Motion 2, but again, I think City Skylines is kind of the best out of the series. Finally, if you pay $18, which is obviously the higher end of the tier, but for that you get Surviving Mars Deluxe Edition, as well as the DLC, Space Race, Green Planet, and Project Laika. So the only thing that you'll be missing out of that would be like the Eurovision Song Contest and whatnot. In addition, there's also the City Skylines Industries DLC. So again, if you like city builders, if you like sort of the, if you really like Surviving Mars, I think these are some pretty good prices. Obviously, if you get the $18 tier, you also get the things down below. So you're not going to get the Industries DLC without getting City Skylines. So yeah, if you want, obviously, if you click that link, you will be able to you'll also be able to support the stream for me. Apparently you can also add Surviving the Aftermath. I didn't know that. But yeah, in any case, if you use that link, you can choose to put a certain amount towards me. Obviously, that is a referral. Sorry, that's a referral link. So that's for Humble. I get money if you buy stuff through that. So please don't buy that stuff unless you actually wanted to get that already. But I'm quite a fan of the Paradox Management games, as I'm pretty sure you've already figured out. So that was a deal that I saw today and thought you might like. I think they might have actually announced it a little while ago, though. Anyways, back to story stuff. Hey again, boss. What's up? How you liking the new ship? Love it. She's a big old ship, Commander. This bucket can carry more tonnage than I know what to do with. And the mech bay. Man, the mech bay. Do you have any idea how tough it is to refit a mech on the Leopard? The other mech techs won't even try it. You've got no room to maneuver, no room to do anything. The odds of getting killed in some horrific industrial accident go right through the roof. My guess is that, I guess what I'm trying to say is that I like the new ship, and I especially like the fact that it isn't my job to keep her flying anymore. I guess that puts Lady Arano in my good graces, which is rare for a wannabe Empress. Lord Madeira too. Hell, even Centrella. As long as they let us keep the Argo, they're all fine with me. Alright, I think we've already talked with Yang, but I just want to double check. Yep. So I'm pretty sure this is a tech readout from the Battletech board game.
Talk to you later.
Let me just take a minute here to make sure. I think we already started doing our repairs. Yes, we did. Storage, we have got 1 full Commando, 1 full Locust. 2/3 of a Locust. Oh wow, we've got lots of fragmented Locusts. No assaults. We've got 1/3 of a Jagermech. Sorry, Jagermech. 1/3 of a Quick Draw. And another Centurion. Probably would want this Trebuchet more than anything. And then in the worst case scenario, we can always sell those for other things. While I'm at it, I want to mess around with the Centurion a little bit. I should have... Oh, okay, I'll have to do this later. We gave it a pretty wimpy autocannon. We've obviously got a better one for it now. We'll worry about that later. Okay, engineering. I hope I put something in...
Commander. Happy to be here.
I think we said we were going to do recreation. Oh no, I've been wasting the time, so...
I'll get the crew moving.
Work on the lounge upgrade has begun. So, a shared social space outside the barracks allows mech warriors to bond as a team. This gives me extra morale, which, again, I want because I tend to use a lot of those special abilities. I think after that I might consider better repair and refit. This is just to get me the extra tech points and to get my my mechs back into the fight a little bit earlier. These structure benefits are really about me getting more sort of more improvements down these paths. But again, we'll focus on this upgrade first. We'll have a chat with Farah. Commander Chion, what can I do for you? Patching up the Argo must have been an enormous job. How'd you do it? Oh, it wasn't just me. I had a team working under me. Over 200 of Lyriton's most accomplished engineers, electricians, and shipwrights. It was really pretty amazing, I've got to say. Shouting through a megaphone at a team of hundreds, watching them hang on my every word. How much did Lady Orano pay for all of that? Oh, it wasn't Lady Orano. The payments came directly from House Centrala. That was a figure of speech. They were indirect payments, of course, routed through countless intermediaries to obscure where the money was coming from. But yeah, the Centralas paid for it. Now, as to how much the Centralas paid, I honestly have no idea. I'm sure the figure was astronomical, but still, cheaper than getting dragged into an unwanted war, eh? If the ship turns out to be as important as Lady Orano thinks it will, then it was money well spent. Had you ever managed a team that big before? Never in my wildest dreams. Prior to my time on the Lyriton shipyard, the biggest team I'd ever managed was the crew that I had with me on Axilis, and they all got killed. This job went a lot better than that one did, by the way. Only 3 deaths across the entire project, and before you ask, none of them was my fault. There was an accident with one of the industrial cranes, and well, it was horrible. I pray for their souls. That went off the rails in a pretty big way, didn't it? Sorry about that. I guess I'm still in a little bit of shock from our time on Axilis. I'm having a hard time getting what I saw out of my mind. But that's neither here nor there. We were talking about the ship. Is there something else you'd like to know? Let's talk about something else. I have some questions for you about the ship. This might be the tutorial for upgrades. What can... yes, Commander, of course. Ask me whatever you'd like. What can you tell me about the Argo? A fair amount, Commander. I've been researching this ship for several months. Boeing Interstellar produced just 2 of these beauties back in 2762. They were intended to follow behind the first wave of exploratory missions, supporting multiple surveyor, terraformer, and colonizer teams on deep survey missions. Although she's far too large to land on a planet, her docking collar system allows for smaller dropships like your Leopard to come in here along for the ride. The Argo is a mobile space station, in a sense, providing temporary habitation for teams on dangerous missions in unsettled space. Exploration vessel or no, she sounds ideal for our purposes. She is, and with 57,000 tons of cargo space, she has all the room we need for supplies, spare equipment, personnel, you name it. In fact, her hold is so vast that we'll have no trouble storing as many mech chassis and partial mech salvage as you can get your hands on. Why don't we see more ships like the Argo out here? The Argo is a product of her era. She lacks the armor or maneuverability to function in battle, and she's vastly outclassed in size and firepower by even the smallest warships. She's a peacetime ship, meant for peacetime exploration duties, and planned with a focus on long-term orbital deployment. It was her non-combat design that ultimately led to her abandonment. In an earlier era, she might have seen widespread usage, but the fall of the Star League and the near-constant state of war we've endured since then has rendered the Argo little more than a forgotten experimental footnote in the history of dropship production. Sad, really. In her own way, the Argo represents the backseat that science and exploration have taken in pursuit of military goals. Let's talk about something else. Of course, Commander. Ask whatever you'd like. If you're going to be part of this crew, I'd like to have a better sense of who you are. Tell me about yourself. Well, I'm an actual doctor, but not the medical kind. I hold 2 doctorates, one in physics, the other in mechanical engineering. And now I'm hauling around a lost tech wonder with a crew of merry pirates seeking my fortune. It's funny the places life takes you. Okay, I've got the elevator pitch. Now give me the long version. Yeah, sure, if you like. Let's see, where to begin? Well, I was born on Regulus in the Free Worlds League. My parents were academics. I know, big surprise. And I spent most of my early years bouncing back and forth between their suburban apartment and the Ferdowsi, my Baba June's live-in dropship. Or Baba June? Who's that? My grandfather. He'd carved out a nice little business for himself, running a taxi service for pilgrims traveling to and from Dar es Salaam. As much as my father frowned on Baba June's old-fashioned lifestyle and beliefs, he wasn't blind to how much I loved the old man, and so he occasionally consented to let me board the Ferdowsi and go along for the ride. I'll always cherish my memory of those voyages, the warmth behind Baba June's smile, the excitement of leaving Regulus behind, chatting with the pilgrims and getting lost in the stars, and eating prepackaged fezzian out of a shiny tin. Those times are all crystal clear in my memory, as if they happened yesterday. Oh, how I miss that wonderful man. This may seem silly coming from a mercenary engineer, but I've come to think of the life I've chosen as a way of honoring my Babajun. By carving my own path among the stars, I'm doing what I can to keep his memory alive. That sounds trite, I'm sure, but sue me. It's what I've chosen to believe. What about after you left home? Where did you study? I actually spent a little time in the Lyrian Commonwealth before I pursued my studies. Long story that, but suffice to say that it was my own kind of learning experience. When I did decide to get a higher education, I wound up back in the Free Worlds League. I did my undergrad studies in the University of Atreus, and then went on to Cyan University in the Capellan Confederation to earn my doctorates. For a top 3 school with a Maskarova-screened admissions process, Cyan U was surprisingly open to transfer students. Okay, I'm curious here. The greatly feared intelligence arm of the Capellan Confederation consists of 2 branches. The Chancellor's Hand, which conducts espionage, gathers intelligence, and commits sabotage in foreign territory, while the Chancellor's Will brutally enforces national security and loyalty among the citizens. Anyway, I could go on and on for hours about my academic career, and you'd probably smile and nod as I rambled, but come on. I mean, this can't be that interesting for you, can it? You're a mercenary. You stomp around in a giant robot for a living. The closest I got to adventure back then was my dissertation defense. It's enough family history. I want to ask you about something else. Hey, Tank Pig, great to see you. Guys, for those of you who don't know him, I'm actually going to take a second and shout out Lyra Zyder again, because I know there weren't as many people back when I mentioned him. But for those of you who don't know him, Tank Pig is another streamer on Twitch who does do a lot of strategy stuff. I actually most associate Tank Pig with not Phantom Doctrine, Alpha Sig. Let me just double check the name of that. I keep getting it wrong. I call it Alpha Signal, but I think I'm wrong on that. Sigma Theory. Yes, I was going to say I actually don't associate. I was going to say the Sigma Theory is what I personally associate you with, but I do know Tank Pig from Age of Wonders, which is where he first found me. But suffice to say, as a strategy streamer, yeah, that's my connection to you. But actually, I was going to say Tank Pig is a very strong recommendation because he does such a good job of finding the sort of stuff that I'm really interested in. So he recommended Phoenix Point. Obviously, that was one that I had done a fig backing for, but like has got like a perfect track record in terms of recommending stuff. And of course, again, when he found me through Age of Wonders Planetfall. Actually, I think that was the last thing I saw you were playing the Revelations DLC, I think. Or maybe I'm making up stories. One way or the other, Tank Pig is a very friendly guy, fun to watch, and has a lot of overlap in terms of the kinds of games that I am interested in. So, very good to see you. And how have you been doing? Also, do you play Battletech? I don't think I've seen you play it, but this might just be the fact that I'm not very good at catching your stuff. Have you always wanted to be a shipboard engineer? No, not always. When I was 15, I wanted to be a statistician. You know, a nice quiet life, alone in the ivory tower. That was what my personal dropship was going to be called, preparing mathematical models and studying survey results. So yeah, you know, every girl's dream. I guess. Did you ever want to do something more, I don't know, exciting? Like being a mech warrior? No, as much as I love the idea of stomping around in a giant robot, I'm not huge on the whole murdering people with lasers thing. You can use autocannons. That doesn't really square with my personal beliefs. Don't get me wrong, I'll happily work with mech warriors. If I wasn't, I wouldn't be here. But the actual firing of weapons? No, it isn't for me. You still seem pretty enthusiastic about it. Why didn't you follow through? I'm assuming this is to her statistician job. Well, interests change. I mean, I still like statistics, but it's really more of a hobby now. Is that weird? People have told me that's weird. I don't know, plotting graphs and forecasting future events calms me. It's like my own little way of using math to bring order from chaos. And besides, everybody needs a hobby. I know for a fact that Darius crochets. Okay, so what made you want to go into engineering? Uncle Heiner's Experiment World, live-action STEM edutainment program from the Lyrian Commonwealth. It started airing just after my 19th birthday. You may have seen it. It ran for 3 seasons before it was cancelled. The host was a tattooed, chain-smoking nihilist who taught children about the magic of chemistry. You know, making thermite with aluminum cans and a belt sander. That kind of thing. Yeah, I remember. You like that guy? I married him. Long story. But the important bit is that in 6 months before the annulment, I learned that I had real talent with machines. When Hire blew out a power relay or took a tire iron to the bandsaw, I was the one who'd put it back together again. I found a great deal of peace in that. From there, it was just a matter of getting into the right schools and following my bliss. So that's what I did. And well, here I am. Turned out all right for me, all things considered. Later, Doc.
Keep safe, boss.
All right. We only have one other character we haven't talked with yet.
Although may not be fully functional yet, but she's space-worthy enough for our purposes.
So I am going to try and go with Sumire. Sorry for those of you who just want the stomping mechs, but we'll clear this all out and it'll be shorter next batch.
Dispose of it immediately. Everyone's safe. Don't drink it.
I don't know if you guys can hear these radio messages, but they're actually really cute. Commander Tion, what's up? What do you think of the Argo? Are you going to be able to fly this beast? She's different. Piloting her won't be a problem, but I can't say that I'm happy about living on a piece of lost tech. Too many question marks for my taste. That said, if I get the necessity. The Leopard is just too damn small. Anyway, as long as we're able to restrain ourselves from pushing any mysterious buttons, we should be okay. That's what I keep telling myself anyway, and life on board the Argo should continue to improve as Dr. Murad brings new sections of the ship online. So we've got that to look forward to. You got that right. I'm going to fix this bucket up the first chance I get. Sounds like a plan to me. I can't wait to see what you do with the place. Personally, I'm rooting for a day spa, but I'm easy. I'll take what I can get. I think navigation's just going to be tutorial, but let's take a look. Yep. Collecting stories about the crew. Tell me something about yourself. Well, I'm from a noble family like you. We're old money, made our fortune out in Rasselhag, and then repatriated to the Taurian Concordat. That's where I grew up. I'm not sure this is the kind of stuff you were hoping to hear, but we can talk about whatever. I'm not shy. Where in the Concordat are you from? I grew up on New Vandenberg. It's a nice enough place, I suppose. Do you like birds? Why do you ask? Because New Vandenberg is crawling with them. It's basically one big aviary. Something like 2/3 of the native fauna has feathers, flutters on the wind, and splatters its excrement across every available surface. That sounds like a place that Eyes of Sin would enjoy. Opposite of enjoy. Naturally, the original colonists adopted the feathery little monsters into the culture, and those of us that came after were stuck with it. Statues, fountains, murals, you name it. Just a giant feathery pile of screeching alien birds. If the system had a motto, it would be squawk. Cute. Hey, Spurious CCG, thank you very much for the raid. How you doing? Maybe, if I had grown up with it. Where did you learn to pilot a Leopard, anyway? The Taurian Naval Institute on New Vandenberg. Well, among other places, it's a big campus. The low-gravity training station orbiting Lompoc was was my second home for a time. TNI flight training isn't usually open to civilians, but my parents had good credit back then, and they could name drop Protector Calderon. That'll get you pretty far in the Concordat, for a while anyway. How's the game going? Well, given the fact that my video card is working, great. I haven't had a crash yet. How are you? Were you streaming Battletech? The other cadets in my class weren't especially happy sharing air with Civi, but they couldn't say much. I was nobility and they weren't. Everyone sort of kept me at arm's length, so I had plenty of time to concentrate on my studies. I got my certification in both dropship and jumpship operation in 4 years. I even tried working on a commercial ship crew for a while, once upon a time. The people were fun, but it wasn't for me. The ratio of flying to violent jump sickness skewed hard in the wrong direction. What can you tell me about House Meyer? You're looking at it. My parents are both gone. Blood cancer and heart disease, respectively. Both treatable, but they were out of money at that point, so into the ground they went. Ditto my brother David, who ran off to serve in the Third Succession War and never came back. It's a rough break. It is what it is. To be perfectly honest, I was never really all that close to any of them. David was 13 years older than me. He had a foot out the door before I turned 3, and my parents, they raised me by proxy, in the traditional noble fashion. There's no real bond there, even when I was young. None of this is to say that my folks were bad people. They weren't. They were just doing what they knew. Their upbringings had been outsourced, just like mine was. Oh, Phoenix Point. Oh, yes, I do. Phoenix Point. Actually, we were just talking about that. Tank Pig was another streamer who's talking about that. I haven't actually played the full version of it yet, but I'm a huge fan of Julian Gollop. I liked Snapshot's last game, Chaos Reborn, and I'm really looking forward to playing the full one. How are you finding it so far? And were you a Fig backer on that, or? Anyway, that's all I've got to say about my family. They're gone. I'm here. The end. So you got another question? Or should we get back to our duties? Your family came from Wrestlehag? It was a long time ago, but yeah, as my parents told it, we were landowners on Pomme de Terre. It's an agricultural world, sort of the breadbasket of the Draconis Combine. And yes, I know that Pomme de Terre means potato. My ancestors came from the planet Potato. It took me some time to accept that, but hey, here we are. Yeah, I really like Battletech too. Sorry, I didn't see that last comment, but that was another one from Kickstarter. Apparently everything is either just something that I've gotten a key for or kickstarted or crowdfunded. Anyway, moving on. House Meyer's holdings were meager, but the value of the land was astronomical. For minor nobility, we were really very wealthy. And then the Third Succession War broke out, and the political rhetoric got ugly. House Meyer didn't want a single part of what was happening, so my ancestors emptied their accounts and ran. As a rule, House Kurita takes a really dim view on nobles who cut and run. Words like traitor and defector start getting thrown around. In the Combine, you really don't want to be on the receiving end of allegations like that. I wouldn't be standing here today if House Calderon hadn't granted my ancestors asylum in the Concordat. In all likelihood, House Meyer would have been wiped out before I was even born. Rough and spots, and yes, some things take trial and error. The game is brutal even on the second easiest difficulty. Oh, that's good to know. I'll play it on easy. It's like your last name, when translated, literally means middle of the cliff, because guess where they came from? It was a place with a lot of cliffs. That's really fun. I suppose I should have known, knowing your last name, but that's funny to hear. Okay, so that's the story out of the way. Well, not out of the... You know what I mean. It's a fine story. So it looks like after the financial report, we will be getting an upgrade for the Argo. But right now, let's just focus on getting at least 2 mechs back online. And let's see what contracts we have available. Okay. So, obviously, Thorn in his side is going to be a pretty... That's going to be a pretty heavy mission, so we're going to wait on that. I am tempted for Brilliant Minds just because that gives me a chance to buy a little time and do an easier mission before Thorn in the Side. But obviously, let's deal with our 1.5 skulls before we can. So, tag team, we have a situation here and we'd like your help. We've detected a joint task force of Directorate and Taurian units operating openly on the planet. We need to hunt them down and turn them to scrap. But even if we do manage to find them, our own forces aren't up to the task of engaging that many enemies at once. We'd like you to send a lance to accompany our own team. The two of you can then engage the enemy together and negate their numerical advantage. One thing that I kind of wish was a bit different when this game would be if they could tell me exactly what... I wish they could tell me how many mechs I need to bring along. So I'm most likely going to do show the flag. So in this case, mid-level restoration official has decided to personally patrol a moderately dangerous region of the planet. We've done our best to dissuade her, but she's insistent that she show the people that she's willing to take risks on their behalf, rather than let her stumble around in her family's ancestral griffin until some opportunistic pirate decides to murder her. We'd like you to escort her and keep her alive. So this one, you need 3 mechs. Your mother's biological last name, the one her parents gave her, is the last name commonly given to people who herd animals. This is where you get your love of animals from. By the way, did you hear about that bird planet? I was going to say that's probably one that you would hate to be on. Then we've got hot landing. Satellite surveillance pictures show that a heavy lance was inserted into the planet's surface by a pirate dropship. Currently, we believe that they're securing their landing zone, preparing for whatever operation they have planned. Before they finish securing the area, we'd like you to interrupt them. They're heavily armed, so expect strong resistance. So given the fact that we're going to be repairing a lot of our mechs and the payment is not really that great, I think I'm going to do show the flag. So same story here, it just pays quite a bit better than the other show the flag. Same scrap, more cash. So on one hand, a Griffin is tough mech, given all the kinds of enemies we're likely to run into out there. On the other hand, any official who thinks personally patrolling is a good idea may not be the best pilot around. So we'll do show the flag. We've come a long way together, old friend, but I fear I have yet another favor to ask of you. Our fortunes are married together. Aid us, and we will aid you, as it's always been. We would not ask this of a lesser ally. So I think in this case we're going to go. I mean, this is basically the month's finances taken care of. Salvage won't be that great, but that's fine. I'll accept it. Okay, so I'm going to put Decker back in the Centurion. Definitely want to bring Glitch with her Vindicator. That's another PPC, and then really the only other heavier mech that I have is the Blackjack. That's Beefeaters, so we have a fairly decent amount of firepower. It's going to be a little weird having Decker being the one who's drawing all the fire, but that's life. Shadowhawk is still under repair, so. Decker is still alive. I don't know if they nerfed the stuff that would kill Decker or what, but... Also, I'm not that far into the campaign, so I'm sure I'll find a way to lose lose a crew member. This is almost the opposite of... I mean, the one thing that's kind of funny about these is that, like, I actually want the VIP to take the most damage because that means that's repairs that I'm not going to have to do to my own mechs. But obviously, they're also, like, the target. They're the mission objective, so... I suspect this will be a waste of your time, Commander. I'm perfectly capable of taking care of myself. We're being paid to accompany her. If there's no fighting, we get paid to stretch our legs and take in the sights. Hey, XO, I've got multiple blips here. Looks like Taurian livery. In that case, Commander, we're weapons hot. Keep that VIP alive. I'm listening, you know. Don't talk about me like I'm not even here. When it's time to evac, Commander, I'll pick you up here. Hey, can you even hear me? Is this thing on? How do I tell if my radio's working? Hello? Hello? VIP, take point.
I'll do what I can.
All right. Decker, yeah, the VIP and Decker are the two people going from. All right, so pretty much exactly where the game said that they would be. Unfortunately, Beefeater's a bit slower than everybody, so... Hey, XO, I'm tracking an inbound blip. Coming in fast and low, like they're making a drop-off. Keep us updated, Mayor. So again, I'm not in any rush to move in because we still need to figure out what we're up against. Alright, that's probably Locust that just did a full move. It's not that bad.
What do you need?
I'm actually going to move the VIP in first here, and this is actually just so that I can take down one of the chevrons on the Locust. So this is less about doing the damage and more about just reducing some of its evasion. Obviously, if everything landed, I wouldn't be sad about that, but... Oh, hey. Alright, I'm gonna have to figure out what to do about this Phoenix Hawk, because that's actually a pretty meaningful target, but it's got like an infinite amount of evasion, so...
Standing by.
So I really don't want this guy to be... I don't want Decker to be sort of going over rough territory on the possibility that this Phoenix Hawk could do some damage. I guess if it really comes down to it, I could try and do a sensor lock, but in this case, let's try... Oh, sorry, I thought that was a locust. It's actually a flea, so... Again, we'll do what we can to the flea. It's a light mech, so it's not exactly the thing that I would normally want to dedicate a lot of resources to, but the idea here is I want to move Decker in closer so that I can engage the Phoenix Hawk in melee if it doesn't move too much. And then, again, I'm sort of saving my more devastating attacks for when the evasion is down, so... I think this might actually be the first Phoenix Hawk that I've seen. Okay, Beefeater... Yeah, let's go for it. This is one where... Like, normally I might want to consider a precision shot, but obviously it's the first round, so there's not a lot we can do about that. But again, I'm just alpha striking everything. If I get lucky, we'll take out the leg, but... That's gotta be done. Yeah. So that means that I'm going to be able to do a PPC shot on the knockdown flea. So I do want to take advantage of movement if I can. Let's make sure, yeah, everything's what it needs to be. So again, I don't exactly want this Vindicator that much into the fight, but they are in cover. And then I get to do the targeted shot on the other leg, see if we can leg this thing with the PPC and the laser. Answer is no, we cannot. Commander, I've got eyes on a new lance in the AO. Looks like local government markings. Shit, this might get messy. Commander, keep that VIP safe. These new targets are not part of the mission objectives. Alright, so if we can do something to flee before it stands up, that's good. We can. Interesting.
What's up, boss?
So Decker unfortunately can't get into melee range. Let's just cluster everyone up. So again, I have to take the chance to leg the flea. I mean, obviously to take it off the board if I can get the center torso shot, but I'm still going to try for the leg. Okay, yeah, well, we took everything out. Also, this is partly to force the Phoenix Hawk to move, so then I can probably engage it in melee. Alright, well, sure enough, he's going melee for the Centurion. Ooh, that was a tough one.
Internal structure damage.
Alright. Fortunately, everybody's going to be able to gather around and kick the crap out of this guy, so...
Good to go.
I have a feeling that there are better things I can be doing with Glitch than to do physical attacks, but I just really love the idea of 3 mechs standing around kicking the crap out of this guy. We also possibly will be able to knock him down. Now, the VIP is not going to be the best candidate for doing a physical attack, but if it lands, I think we knock him down. We do. This is definitely the wrong neighborhood attack. Just everybody's sitting there kicking the crap out of this guy. Let's get Decker, who's best at physical.
Putting my weight into it.
Actually, I should probably be taking the advantage of the down guy to take out his legs. He's probably going to be standing up now. Nope. It's running a little hot, but we should still be able to do something with this. So yeah, called shot on the leg. We took the arm.
Enemy mech. Critical damage detected.
Waiting on you, Commander.
So the question is, I don't think it can actually get Glitch in range to do anything with her best weapon, so in this case, let's just keep...
This is gonna be good.
Yeah? Putting my weight into it.
This is funny. I am curious what they do, though. Okay, so they're gonna get a rear attack on the on the VIP. Yeah, I should be a little more careful about that.
Crap, that shot went internal. Standing by. Copy that. Ugh. Scored a critical hit.
So Blackjack's kind of overheated, so I think we might position them to deal with the reinforcements.
Ready for orders.
Obviously, I just really want to do more physical attacks.
That's the last. All primary targets.
All right, so there's going to be a bit of a repair job for the Centurion, but we shouldn't have anything too catastrophic that happens from now on. So, primary targets are down, Commander. You can re-evac at any time. Affirmative. I'll be on station. All right. So first priority, obviously, is to get my main force dealing with the reinforcements. Let's keep that Griffin
Yes,
back.
Commander.
I hear ya.
In the case of Glitch, I can get a little more distance with the jump jets, so we'll do that. And then VIP, it's kind of a half move.
Acknowledged.
I mean, all the damage is in the rear armor, so I don't have a ton to fear, but I don't exactly want this character taking point either, so...
Waiting for orders. Affirmative.
Roger.
Don't need to tell me twice.
Okay, so let's get
Orders.
Decker in the front.
Position confirmed.
Presumably we'll be seeing some enemies at some point. Yep. Okay, so...
What can I do for you?
best is if I can get some eyes on them. This is behind cover, so... Oh, you know what? It's probably because we're still... Yeah. I don't think it's going to let me shoot at them because I am... We haven't actually started the combat bit yet. Also, we've got a ton of resolve, so we should be able to get a bunch of targeted shots. So the hope here is that Decker's going to be able to run in and do those physical shots before anything. Let's start off with Beefeater. I don't think they count as being on the rough terrain yet, but I will still try and do a targeted leg shot. Again, I get to go cover to cover, so... And honestly, they didn't move that much. Oh yeah, they do count as being on rough terrain, so...
All weapons committed.
That's also a blackjack. Ooh.
Warning. Armor breached. Internal damage.
Alright, that gives me something to think about.
Waiting for orders.
Let's stick to the plan.
Proceed.
I actually think I have more to fear from the blackjack than I do from the panther, but It's about the same. I'm going to take the right leg, though, just because Decker will be able to focus on the left.
Want some more? Huh?
Okay, still not what I was looking for. In this case, I'm actually going to get the VIP to get in a little bit closer to the combat than I want.
Position confirmed.
But again, this is just because I've got a nice opportunity to cause some trouble with that Panther. Actually, honestly, my chances are better if I focus on the Blackjack. I don't like dividing my attention this way, but... Wow.
Good to go.
So again, if it really comes down to it, I might as well get Decker to focus on one of the legs. And actually, at this point, if we just take something off the board, it's probably better.
Roger. Target eliminated.
So the hope was basically to knock it over, but at this point we did enough damage that we could just take the thing out. So now I'm curious what this Blackjack does in reply. Okay, again, that's all armor, so that's fine.
Armor holding.
The hope is, of course, that I'm going to be able to close the gap with Decker. Not quite. Okay, that just means I'll get as close as possible. Now the question is, do I want to like precision strike and try for the head? Let's do it.
Roger that.
I can't blame you for trying.
Scored a critical hit.
Standing by.
Oh, hell yes. This is such a bad decision, but I'm doing it anyway. Oh, wow.
Got past the armor.
So I mean, I put them on rough terrain. I was actually more scared that the VIP was gonna get knocked over. This is amazing. So let's just try legging it.
All weapons committed.
Did the trick.
Destroyed.
Commander, this area has been cleared. Darius has given me the green light to land immediately. Hold position.
Mission successful.
Alright, so that was sort of straightforward. I mean, again, we still wound up with some repairs, so we're going to be waiting a couple of days. But, yeah. That's a pretty decent payday for the damage that we took. We're actually already ahead for this month's expenses, so... Excellent work, Commander. I was right to put my faith in you. You're a critical part of the restoration effort. Okay. So nobody was injured, which is good. And I think it's all, like, we didn't lose any important stuff, so... Okay, let's add Phoenix Hot, why not? And I'm really indifferent about the next thing that I get, but that Blackjack was kind of cool, so... we now have a full new Blackjack if I want to do Laser Vomit. Looks like they also gave us a large laser, and... yeah. Actually, I think... yeah, except for the Panther. Oh, actually, the Panther might have been a little smarter for me to bring along, because we already have 2/3 of it. Yeah, that's actually a pretty decent haul, all told. Especially given the fact that I think I said that that wasn't actually all that impressive of a scrap offer originally. I don't know if Flyer's is still around, but actually this tip in the top left-hand corner is another thing I forgot to mention about Melee, is that the heat. He's nice. Okay, mech chassis complete. Blackjack, BJ-1DB. 2 large lasers at 45 tons. That's the pitch for the BJ-1DB. Out of the box, this mech lays down fantastic firepower at long range and can keep it going for long engagements. Okay, I'd actually be really tempted to put this in the lineup, but I'm kind of happy with where we're at right now. My Ancestral Blackjack is working fine for me. Glitch in the Vindicator is working. Centurion is sort of my... that kind of actually taken the role of the Shadowhawk, if I'm completely honest. I'm happy keeping 2 Lates. So honestly, at this point, we just need more bays. Yeah, we're gonna send that one to storage for now. I'm actually very inclined. Like when I play MechWarrior Online, I actually really like lasers. It's more so this game where I'm actually beginning to appreciate kinetic weapons a little bit more. Anyways, more repairs. But before I do that, let's get some more work on the Centurion. So right now it's got an AC2. Let's switch that out for our AC5. And... This is actually a tricky question. Do I want to add... How many units of ammo is that? 15 rounds. Kind of feel like I do need that extra. So that means we're going to strip away the armor, unfortunately. Well, let's do a repair all. I know there's a way to like auto distribute the... Yeah, there we go. So I made the... This is the challenge, right? This is supposed to be in the middle doing a lot of brawling. You know, maybe I want to... Let's try taking away a bit of the SRM ammo. That might work a little bit better. But yeah, this is the challenge, right? I'm giving it some more armament, but its role is to be like in the middle of things. So I also can't really afford to strip it too deeply. Okay, we know we have another VIP mission, so let's try and prioritize as many, getting as many mechs back into the fight as we can. This means that the Blackjack and the Shadowhawk get the priority repair jobs. That also means that my Centurion's probably not going to be on deck for the next mission. But let's just take a quick look at the contracts. So tag team, show the flag, hot landing. Yeah, let's say show the flag will be the next one. But this does mean that we need to do some more navigation. So at some point also I should probably take a look at what we can find in the... it's like a store. There might be some other goodies that we can pick up. Ooh, Stalker. It's kind of expensive though. So this is all ammo. Cockpit mod. All mechs come equipped with stock cockpit configuration, which can be upgraded to improve performance. Cockpit mods upgrade the structure of the area the mech warrior occupies during combat, granting increased protection from mortal injuries. That is cool. I actually had no idea about these mods. Comms resolve gain, lower heat. Yeah, these are all pretty standard. Holy crap. Mortars? I gotta pay attention to these stores more often. I've always just been relying on the stuff that we find. Anyways, we are actually doing okay for money, but in this case I'm gonna keep with what we've been working with. Yeah, we'll wait the 3 days on the Shadowhawk, and then we can go do another mission. Right, so this will be another show of the flag. I think we'll go for the same. Again, we'll be a little short on the monthly bill, but we're already ahead of the game for that. So, and okay, Beefeater and the Blackjack, Vindicator, and Behemoth gets to go back to her beloved Shadowhawk. So, how does it describe the Shadowhawk out of curiosity? Skirmisher and Cavalry. The Shadowhawk 2H is a perfect example of jack of all trades. It supports weaponry for all ranges, it has respectable speed and jump capability, and mounts decent armor. This comes at the cost of excelling at nothing in particular. Actually, let's just read the other descriptions too. Vindicator. Fire support and Brawler. Vindicator 1Rs tend to deal their damage at range while moving in for closer attacks. Typically well armored, they're capable of some surprise attacks due to their jump capability and above average heat efficiency. So this is surprising actually. Apparently Glitch is supposed to be my melee specialist. And then the Blackjack. Blackjacks are solid, well-rounded mechs for their tonnage. They typically mount jump jets, which give them an extra edge by repositioning quickly to keep a direct line of fire for their autocannons. Again, there's always the temptation to like try and bring the General along. I'm fond of the Jenner and the Locust, but I think if the last time we did this mission is any indication, I probably shouldn't be bringing light mechs along. Hopefully we don't have to deal with a surprise Phoenix Hawk, though. Or if we do, hopefully we get to just, like, gang up and beat the crap out of it again. Alright, mid-level restoration official has decided to personally patrol a moderately dangerous region of the planet. We've done our best to dissuade her, but she's insistent that she show the people she's willing to take risks on their behalf, rather than let her stumble around in her family's ancestral griffin until some opportunistic pirate decides to murder her. We'd like you to escort her and keep her alive. On one hand, that griffin can probably take care of itself, given the kind of opposition we're likely to run out into out here. On the other hand, any official who thinks that personally patrolling is a good idea may not be the best pilot around. I was actually planning on being finished by now, but I did get a late start because I needed to buy... This is a fun thing. So the new video card does not have the standard DVI ports, so I actually needed to... My streaming monitor, like the monitor I use to look at chat and stuff like that, I needed to get an adapter to HDMI, so I'll make up for the time. I suspect this will be a waste of your time, Commander. I'm perfectly capable of taking care of myself. We're being paid to accompany you. If there's no fighting, we get paid to stretch our legs and take in the sights. XO, we've got multiple blips. Looks like Torian livery. In that case, Commander, we're weapons hot. Keep that VIP alive. So this is cool that we get to see them right away. I'm listening, you know. Don't talk about me like I'm not even here. When it's time to evac, Commander, I'll pick you up here. Hey, can you even hear me? Is this thing on? How do I tell if my radio's working? Hello? Hello?
Okay. Let's do this.
If this is the same VIP as last time, we'll actually do really well. Okay, let's move the Griffin. Okay, so I can't actually see the bad guys. Let's move the Griffin.
Roger.
Right away. I'd love to keep the Shadowhawk from cover to cover, but the fact of the matter is we're going to need to close the gap. So we might as well just move as far as we
On
can.
my way.
Ready for orders. Move order received. We've got an unknown on sensors.
So you don't have Decker for the sensor support, although Beefeater might be able to do something. Geothermal. Yeah, at this point, let's just take the we'll take the advantage of sprint, and we'll deal with the consequences next round. So we're pretty exposed, but we should be able to do something. We should be able to get some good shots off next turn. Okay, so they're going to try and flank us on that side, but with any luck, we can make them pay. So I do want to get in close, but I am going to take... Oh, actually, I don't know if I have a... I don't. Okay. I was thinking that I might be able to use a precision strike to try and take out the leg, but in this case, I'm just going to do... It's standing on its own. It's likely going to move next round, so in this case, I just want to throw as much fire at it as possible. Again, it's a cold planet, so it's not like we're gonna... It's not like we're gonna really lose a whole lot. And sure enough, just got a lot of... Actually, not as much not as much evasion as I thought they would. So in this case, let's get the VIP.
What do you need?
I'm going to move the VIP up. I'm going to move them a little closer than I normally would want.
Understood.
This is actually just to remove the chevron. Now, of course, one advantage is that this mech is already moved. Oh, it's a fire starter, so I don't have much to worry about from it. Again, if we wind up doing something that takes this out, so much the better, but it means that Glitch is going to be able to do a meaningful shot on the now exposed assassin.
What can I do for you?
Okay. So again, if I can get Glitch into a spot where she's cooling down, that's best. So we're going to move everybody in the water. There is a small temptation to fire the long-range missiles at the fire starter, but in this case, I'm just going to stick with what we got here.
Uh-huh. Yeah, critical hit.
All right.
Yes, Commander.
And honestly, at this point,
Aye, aye.
let's just add to the fun and mop up what we can on the assassin. I mean, the center's looking pretty weak, so if we pull it off, so much the better. Oh, that thing's got to be dead. Yeah.
Enemy down.
Hey, XO, I'm tracking an inbound ship, coming in fast and low, like they're making a drop-off. Okay, this is a worry. We're exposed. Keep us updated, Meyer. So fortunately, we're only after the fire starter, and I mean we're fighting it in ice water. So, but again, I'm gonna want to try and position myself in a way that we can kind of do a big loop around. Okay, what are we looking at? That thing is just standing on its own. So,
What's up, boss?
oh wow, Behemoth doesn't have. Yeah, this'll do. In the worst case scenario, I would have jump jets to turn around, but I could do a precision strike. I just don't think Behemoth is the one to really deliver that. So.
Yeah.
In this case, I think I'm going to try and move the V. Oh, nope, they're going to get in the way. So let's.
I hear ya.
Okay, I'm a little scared for Glitch. Okay, we have very little to worry about from this guy. So yeah, I think I am going to commit Beefeater and the Blackjack. Oh, I do still have another precision. So we should be able to finish this thing off.
Engaging target.
Nope, not if I can't hit it.
Remech. Critical damage detected.
Yep.
I hate that I'm standing still.
Copy that.
Could have been worse. Commander, I got eyes on another restoration lance. I repeat, a fresh wave of hostiles have entered the AO. They want to throw more bodies at us, that's fine by me. Our employer's paying a bonus for extra kills. I'll be all too happy to collect. Okay, so I am going to need to get serious on what's happening behind me.
Good to go.
So here I'm going to position Behemoth just to basically be able to turn around. Again, we also have a few things that we'll throw at them, so with any luck, it'll knock them over. Honestly, you know what? Even though the LRMs don't have a high chance of hitting, it's not a huge loss. Alright, that's reasonably smart because it'll give them some evasion. Oh, gee, whatever will I do? I've created some problems for myself. Okay,
Yeah.
let's move this Griffin.
Heading out.
So again, that was the hope for the knockdown, which we got. Okay, so I gotta get out of the spot that I'm in right now. Actually, hang on. It's not the best chance. Now, you know what? I think I do need to jump to commit to, because we're gonna have to deal with the company soon. So, yeah, center's pretty much the right call here. How much does that have left? I think 4 medium lasers should be more than enough.
The last primary target is down.
Primary targets are down, Commander. You can evac at any time. Affirmative. I'll be on station. All right. So again, we're not running on this one. We'll take the bonus if we can.
Show me your war face.
It's inconvenient positioning, but I think we'll still be able to get through it. So,
Waiting for orders.
Behemoth. Okay, not the most exciting move, but at least it gets them pointed in the right direction. So again, the aim here is to avoid people getting hit in the back. If I can fire some shots, great. But right now, I want to make sure that my guys don't get punished for going all in on the other guys. I'm going to do something a little counterintuitive here. I'm not going to get a lot of move bonus, but I am going to keep my PPC in a nice, cool spot. Again, we'll set up for the brace.
What do you need?
God, this is a really tough one. Because there's a side of me that's a little tempted to do a sprint and just get eyes on the bad guys so that maybe Blackjack can do something. But that seems really dumb to put the VIP at risk for the chance that I might be able to do something about it. So in this case, we'll just do a regular move into cover.
Copy that.
Again, we won't get the bonus for the evasion chevrons, but I'll be able to set up a brace. And again, we're giving, like, they're going to have to cross some distance to get some shots on us too. So if anything, we'll be able to come up with sort of a better reply when the time comes. Okay, now this is a tough one because I want to try and get some kind of a positional advantage here, but I also want to make sure I don't completely blow it on my heat. So in this case, I'm going to jump over the rocks. I think I'm still going to have to do another jump, but this is going to allow me the possibility of flanking them with one of my better and more shooty mechs. So we'll just do the brace. I'm actually even tempted to keep some mechs in reserve. Yeah. Let them come to me. Okay.
Yep.
So let's start with... Yep, let's do it.
I'll do what I can.
A crab. Okay, that's a little more than I was expecting, to be honest.
Okay, I'm on it. Commander.
The thing looks pretty well protected, actually. So it's not the bravest thing for me to let the VIP stand out while I'm in cover, but
Got it.
it's what I got. So again, trying to do what I can on the legs.
Waiting for orders.
Now this is a shame. I was really hoping to be able to lob PPCs at them from here, but
Vessel delivery.
Nice. Okay, so we're going to take out at least one leg. Now, that'd be probably pretty heroic for me to assume that, oh my god, I can pull that off. I'm probably exposing him to a world of hurt in reply, but... God. Honestly, let's open it all up.
Let's hit him hard. Come on, send me a real mech warrior.
Oh god, this is such a tempting one for the... Okay, so if I did a precision strike... I obviously can't open everything up. So how much is left there? It's 80 on the inside. Okay, so again, I can't push this thing too hard, but let's do what we can.
Targeting rear armor.
Yeah, the one dilemma here, of course, is that I don't actually have, I don't have any way of following up on that. I don't have a way of getting anybody on the back, so that may not have been the smartest move. Okay.
Standing by.
Let's get Behemoth. Actually, no. Let's get the VIP.
What do you need?
Get them a little more of a clear shot. I probably should have stuck with that leg strategy, to be honest.
Okay, I'm on it.
Yeah, that's pretty much just stripping down armor in all the places they want it to.
Waiting on you, Commander.
Okay, this is going to be a little counterintuitive, but I'm going to take advantage of something that Glitch is pretty good at.
Got it.
So again, this allows for the possibility of hurting the leg, while the main damage goes to the little guy.
Want some more? Huh?
Receiving you.
All right. Now, Behemoth. Behemoth is a bit of a dilemma. I think we're just going to move in close. We'll focus on the crab. But I don't expect much.
Locking on target.
Actually, you know what? It would have been better to go for the locust because it's on one of the few times that it won't have like a lot of evasion pips. All right, let's see what the crab does in return. Reply. All right. Bounced off the armor.
You got nothing, you hear me?
So all those turns I spent on the crab were basically wasted. I probably should have been just focusing on the locust, but we'll work with what we've got. Okay, nothing internal yet. So
Minor damage, Commander.
I'm going to do my
Nothing to see here.
best. I think Beefeater still has a rear shot, so let's take the opportunity we have. Again, I'm opening myself up for a flank from the locust, but let's see what we can do here. All right, I don't have the rear shot anymore. I wish I knew that because I probably would have used the jump jets, although that would probably overheat me. So instead, let's do a called shot on the leg and see if we can knock this thing down. Nope.
Enemy mech. Critical damage detected.
Okay.
Waiting for orders.
Movement's going to be a bit of a priority now. Again, it's a cold biome, so we should still be fine as far as heat generation.
Got it.
Orders.
I wish there was like a miracle jump that I could do that would let me do something really impressive with the crab, but I think for the time being I'm just going to take advantage of a bit of a cool off and try and hit them on the side where their armor's exposed.
Yep.
Okay, and of course the most important thing for me to do to get the VIP into cover. This locust is looking pretty exposed, and so is the crab.
Let her rip.
There we go. So yeah, not the salvage I was originally hoping for, but it's not going to be that much of a threat anymore. Obviously, the locust is going to get its turn to do some damage to me, but hopefully it will be minor. Cool. So
Warning. Armor low.
Blackjack gets its chance for a melee reply. Also a little cooldown, obviously.
Engaging physical attack.
And frankly, at this point, I don't care if everybody just fires missiles at him. But
Yeah.
let's see if we can do something a little more exciting.
Let's move.
Well, I do have a precision strike. The only thing is that this isn't exactly the kind of mech that's... Like, the VIP isn't exactly the character I'd want to put all my hopes behind.
What can I do for you?
I'm curious if... Oh, yeah, there's some shots.
You betcha.
So even though this is a lower paying one, this has actually been pretty good for us as far as keeping the damage to a minimum.
Tell me what to do.
Sweet.
Bang! You're dead.
Commander, the area's been cleared. Darius has given me the green light to land immediately. Hold position.
Mission successful.
Cool. So I don't think we took any internal damage on that one, which will definitely be helpful for the bottom line. I don't have much hope for the scrap, but maybe we can get a crab bit for the... No bonuses, but 456,000 is not bad. Excellent work, Commander. I was right to put my faith in you. You're a critical part of the restoration effort. Okay. Yes, everything's fresh. So, and we evenly distributed the kills. Okay, so Assassin... The Assassin is a rare Assassin variant, which that reduces jump capability and trims some of the already thin armor to mount additional weapons. The extra punch meshes well with its advanced tracking system. So, looks like it's laser beams, missiles, and machine guns? I'm not too excited about that, to be honest. I think... Oh, I didn't know Crab was a medium. I always thought it was heavy. So, direct fire support. Crab 20s fulfill an oft-overlooked role, that of a skirmisher with firepower. Wielding strong energy weapons, the Crab delivers a punch at nearly all ranges, with no ammunition constraints. That blend of firepower, heat efficiency, and speed make the Crab the perfect mech to raid enemy positions. This is actually different from what I was expecting. This is all lasers, but I still think it's kind of cool. A large laser is really tempting to add to the arsenal. I have a natural inclination to want to complete the whole set for stuff that I have. In this case, I'm going to take the large laser because, yeah, I might need one. And we got more medium lasers, machine guns, small lasers, heat sink, jump jets, machine gun ammo. Pretty much nothing too exciting after that, but never hurts to have spare parts. If your mech is at a higher elevation than its target, you will have a slightly higher chance to hit. I was doing the exact opposite last mission, but it still turned out, so. Lady Arano's contract to liberate House Decimus is ready for you to review in the command center. We should follow up when you think we're ready. Not quite ready for that yet, but I did get an achievement, 5 millionaire. All right, so I think we're still waiting on the ship upgrades. Yeah. I'm going to just take a quick minute here and see if there's any...
I'm all ears, Commander.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure until we have more story events, it's going to be the same dialogue options. Just I was bad at catching up on them, so I want to just make sure we're covered there.
Talk to you later.
Yeah, boss? Keep saying
The official story about what's going on in the lore is that my character is just walking up to these characters, looking them in the eye, and then silently walking away. All right. I don't think there'll be anything different in the store, but it doesn't hurt to take a quick peek. Again, that stalker is mighty tempting, but... And again, like the cockpit mods and stuff like that, especially given the fact that it just takes so much out of me, even just to have like one unit of damage. Thermal exchangers reduce overall heat generated from weapon attacks by a fixed percentage. Unlike heatsink components, thermal exchangers are not impacted by the surrounding environment. That's tempting. Okay, actually, at this point, we'll buy it. I don't know what I'm going to equip it on.
Available.
Oh, wait, we've got more than one then?
New equipment available.
Okay, Almacs come equipped with stock cockpit configuration, which can be upgraded for improved performance. Comm systems upgrades allow for better lance cohesion during combat, increasing the resolve generated. So that's also tempting. So the stuff that's doesn't have a weight,
Available.
I think I'm going to take it. But we're still going to need to equip it.
Need something? Come back anytime.
So what are we looking at? We're waiting 6 days on the Centurion. Okay.
On it. I'll let you know when that's done.
I think I'm going to give the Centurion the other cockpit mod. What? What? Never mind. All right. Why has everybody got weapons in their heads? All right. I guess we're going to sit on that then. I think I just spend a bunch of money on stuff I can't use, but... Okay, let's just take a quick look at what I've got. One, two... Okay, so technically I've got a lance. It's just not a good lance. Okay, it's a passable lance. There is a question as to whether or not that light mech is going to get what it... Oh, actually. You get the cockpit mod. Do I have it loaded up with everything that it needs? Looks like it.
Right. I'll get it in the schedule.
I may regret sending Decker in and a Jenner, but... Okay. Let's take a look at what kind of contracts I've got available. So, Panzer, I mean, it's a 2 skull mission, so I don't think I'm quite ready for it. Tag team, we have a situation here. Oh, right. Okay. So, hot landing or tag team? I think I'm going to try hot landing here just because it pays a little worse, so I'm going to assume that it's a bit weaker. Satellite surveillance pictures show that a heavy lance was inserted into the planet's surface by a pirate dropship. Currently, we believe that they're securing their landing zone, preparing for whatever operation they have planned. Before they finish securing the area, we'd like you to interrupt them. They're heavily armed, so expect strong resistance. This is the big thing that I'm scared of, bringing the Jenner in, but the flip side is that with tag team it already says that there's like a bunch of stuff that I'm going to need to fight. So I think I'd rather try hot landing over tag team. So let's see what we've got. So Jenner, Decker, get in there. Everybody say a prayer, and this will probably be the last mission for tonight. So let's see how this clown show goes. Oh, actually, before I do that, training time. Beefeater. So I think I said I was gonna do a beeline for my major upgrade, so we'll do tactics on Beefeater.
Good to go.
Behemoth's already upgraded. Decker, I think, was also going to get the tactics points, although I sort of feel like they should get an extra point of guts. The alternative here, mech piloted by this mech warrior, can move after shooting if it has not moved yet. You know, I actually don't have a strong pilot yet, so let's actually make him major pilot.
I hear ya.
All right, Glitch is a little short on what she needs. Same with Medusa. Okay, I've been always really bad at getting these upgrades in, so let's try that again. Hot landing. Pray for Decker. All right. If they just sit down, they may not be battle ready. We might catch them with their metaphorical pants down. Oh yeah, I didn't see what biome this was.
Command interface initiated.
Oh yeah, we're still on Weldry, so this is where the satellite pictures showed the hostile lance touching down. Move up and make contact. Let's see what we're dealing with. Expect serious resistance. Oliveira out.
All right. Keep your eyes open and watch your sensors.
Okay, so pretty obvious move seems to be to go around the edge here with with Decker.
Yes, Commander.
Okay.
Bandit.
Just gonna make sure Glitch and Beefeater get onto some kind of a ridge as quickly as possible. Maybe it's better to focus this guy down and then deal with the people we have a height advantage on. I'm not sure. I don't normally want to do this, but I've got a really nice high amount of evasion, so I'm going to put Decker in reserve here, just so that I can sort of reply to whatever they're up to. Okay, that's more than a few contacts. Okay, I think the approach I'm going to take is I'm actually going to blast through this side and see if we can turn around on them. It's going to be risky because if they catch up with us, we're going to have our backs turned to them.
Orders?
God, this is gonna hurt.
Acknowledged.
So like the catch here is that I'm a prime melee target if this doesn't work out. All right.
Roger that.
So I'm kind of betting on everybody being able to get in and finish this thing off before the javelin's able to reply. But like I said, we're committing to like everyone running in and taking this thing out. before the rest of their team's able to get in. So.
Firing full complement on it.
Beefeater cannot do anything. Oh, that's not true. They can jump and fire.
Engaging jump jets.
It's only 2 ACs, but again, it's what I need.
Enemy mech. Critical damage detected.
Waiting on you, Commander.
Okay, so I know I'm at least going to be able to get the
Taking
missiles
high
off,
road.
but if the PPC can seal the deal, so much the better.
Here we go.
It did not,
Go
but
time.
Receiving you.
interesting.
Roger.
So I'm going to try and get a leg shot.
Up a new sensor trace. Looks like enemy
Ooh,
reinforcements.
that's ugly. Okay. Actually, crap. 45. Yeah, let's try it.
Mech destroyed.
Okay. I might have bought myself a little time, but we'll see. This thing has just caused me a lot of grief. There's almost certainly going to be a bunch of missiles coming after that Jenner. So you know what? Maybe the better call is to face this thing head on. Also, why did my paint job suddenly change? Okay, so this is commando. Okay, so we got 2 commandos. That's not a... like, I don't need to soil myself yet.
Engaging target.
Okay, I gotta find out what that thing is.
Light damage. Holding firm.
Yes, Commander.
So again, obviously, knowing that we've got at least a couple of light mechs in that area and we have the height advantage, clearly I need to change my... Oh yeah, it's all locusts and commandos. Okay. So leg's a bit banged up, so let's see if we can make it miserable. We can!
Critical hit, Commander.
Waiting for orders.
So now the question is, can I make Glitch jump and really ruin this guy's day? And the answer is no, so we'll just do a standard move. Obviously I gotta get the Jenner out of the danger zone though. So...
Roger that. Firing on target.
it's not a super exciting choice, but if we can leg it, we can leg it. That's just a locust? Well, still expose my structure though,
Shot
so.
one internal.
God, it is so tempting to just do like a jump and hit this guy in the ass. See, the thing is, I'm also gonna have the support. Nah. As much as I would love to just like ram into that thing. I'm just going to try and take it out the normal way. I am, however, going to still take on the leg.
Firing all weapons.
So I'm gonna have to peel off someone to deal with the locust over here. That's a pretty big gun for a, a commando.
Good to go.
Okay, so let's pretend that the Shadow Hawk is going to be the one that
Moving to position.
mops up the rest of them. I am still going to try and take out the solo. Yeah, might as well.
Firing.
I kind of wanted to take out the leg, but the center was weak, so. Okay, so the question here is if I can deliver any help to Decker. There are more chevrons than I'd really like to see on that locust, but
Engaging target. Enemy mech. Critical damage.
did a little something.
detected.
The real question now is going to be what I do with Glitch. Yikes! Yeah, I gotta get Decker out of there. I didn't think there would be that many reinforcements.
I hear ya.
I probably shouldn't have divided my attention like that. So normally I wouldn't want to, like normally it'd be nice to divide my my attention, but in this case I do need to make sure that this thing isn't causing too much trouble for Decker. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, that was dramatic.
Good to go.
So sprint is best, jump is second best. So I'm not going to push my luck on this thing, but if I can... so, how much heat? Okay, I can't fire anything. Fair enough. I'm still going to focus on that locust, but I have a feeling like if I get an opportunity to hurt that Phoenix Hawk, I should take it.
Light damage. Holding firm.
Okay, this thing's gonna be... I'm gonna have some consequences to deal with in a minute, if I'm not careful with this
Waiting
one.
for orders.
Damn it.
Roger that.
I still need to make sure that I don't, like, expose my back to them, but...
Enemy down.
Okay, let's see if there's anything we can do with the reinforcements. So Locust still is the primary target because it's kind of exposed. Ah, damn it, still wasn't enough. Didn't this guy just move?
Good to go.
All right.
Don't need to tell me twice.
I hate that I'm doing this, but I'm actually going to divide the attention. So Locust gets the LRM on the hope that it'll be enough to seal the deal, whereas Phoenix Hawk gets a PPC.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's a start. Yeah, not enough to finish the job, sadly. I mean, what I might do is I might just take Decker and get him to mop up the rest of the lights.
Ready for orders.
This jump can't be healthy. Screw it. So he's got the weaker back armor is the real question. This is like fresh, so... Now, can I actually afford to shoot any of these things? I can do one batch of SRMs. It's better than nothing.
Target lock on enemy 6.
Okay, still no internal damage. I'm happy.
Barely hit, Commander.
Is he really going for a physical attack? I mean, that's smart, because it gives me a... Like, I'm going to have to pick between going after this Locust or going after the Commando, but...
Standing by.
You know what? My armor's good enough that...
Putting my weight into it.
That's probably not how he expected that to go.
Reporting critical hit.
Alright. So the real question now is, what the hell am I going to do with that Locust? Or do I just ignore the Locust and smack down the Phoenix Hawk? Phoenix Hawk is definitely the bigger threat. I can go cover to cover, so... And I also have a precision strike available, so... So where is it weak? It is not weak anywhere I want it to be weak. So again, we'll go for the legs.
All weapons committed.
Oh, he's got friends. Nice. At least they're directing attention to things with fresh armor, so I can't be too upset with that. I wonder if that's a trebuchet. That'd be kind of mean.
What can I do for you?
Okay, the glitch situation is a really tricky one. Because again, like, I'd like to get a positional advantage, but the Phoenix Hawk really is my target here. Screw it. Open it all up. It would have been nice if I could get the leg shot, obviously, but it's a little much to hope for. That is not where I want that thing getting hit.
My internals are taking a beating. Orders?
Okay, let's see if we can get Decker to do anything interesting. Again, it's a Jenner, so the thing's like smoking hot, but... Da, da, da. Let's take it right to the edge. Yeah, this locust is going to be a complete pain in the ass, but again, I have a higher priority target. Again, armor's still holding up, so...
Not much armor left in that location.
I think for
Yes,
this one... No, hang on. I don't think the Phoenix Hawk has moved yet, so... So again, the aim where I can is to... get some move point. Well, you know, I could jump and get the height advantage.
Engaging jump jets.
It's a bit of a risky play because I'm not entirely sure that's going to help my chance to hit. But I do have the leg shot, so...
All weapons committed.
That's a disappointment. That was a trebuchet.
Warning. Armor low.
Okay.
Waiting on you, Commander. You betcha.
So I don't think I don't have enough for a precision strike, unfortunately.
Got it.
Standing by.
All right, and this point I'm thinking we just beat the crap out of whatever we can.
Got it.
I probably should not have two mechs to deal with two lights, but this is how I've let the battle go. So at this point, I gotta mop these guys up as quickly as I can, and just hope that I don't have too much of a penalty for my foolish choices.
Warning. Armor breached.
Okay, so the blackjack.
Damage.
Yes,
I'm not panicking about the blackjack yet.
On my way.
But I do need to make sure that I get at least one of those major antagonists out. Yeah, let's go for it.
Engaging.
So as much as I would love to do some targeted strikes here, I'm going to save those for the Phoenix Hawk.
Inflicted some heavy damage.
Damage is light.
Now the hope with the blackjack here, assuming that he lives, I'm going to try and walk back just so that I can do whatever damage I can to the Phoenix Hawk.
Damage minimal.
But my heat is pretty high, so I'm probably not going to be able to do that much. Ooh, this could be bad. Jesus Christ.
Can't maintain stability.
That's pretty devastating. But fortunately the injury is ignored, so... Okay, Beefeaters first. And again, I would love more than anything to beat the crap out of the Locust, but... I want to see if I can knock this guy on his ass. And let's... Wait a minute. Yeah, I think I screwed up. Okay, so we got his leg. Glitch is going to be following up. And we'll probably just hit him wherever he's weakest, but I'll deal with that later. Okay. That hit all the spots I don't want it to.
Warning. Armor breached. Internal damage.
What can I do for you?
Okay. Okay, again, our chances are good against this thing, so we'll move back. Again, notice here the movement is to try and get the band back together, but Decker getting knocked down has definitely put a damper on that. Okay, so 4 armor, 70 internal, 13 armor, 55. I mean, the chances aren't that great all told, but I think I am going to go for the leg. So it's the center. Oh man, that thing's almost dead. Okay.
Commander.
I hate that I'm doing this, but
On the move.
I really should be helping Decker at this point.
Locked on for physical attack. Enemy down.
So I'm pretty sure that's going to mean that the enemy gets a free hit on Decker. Okay, my mech's still intact. That's good.
Reporting internal damage.
Yeah, that was I didn't want it to happen, but that was definitely
Receiving you.
bound to happen. Holy crap! Yeah, I'm weak everywhere. Ah, God. Okay, so if I jump, see, I'm still in trouble, and I don't have. Nah, screw it. I'm still doing it.
Engaging jump jets.
At the very least, I get the cover bonus. And let's see if we can turn the tables and take out the middle of the Phoenix Hawk. Okay, a little too much, but
Engaging target.
that's gotta do it. Yeah. Okay.
Enemy mech destroyed.
This trebuchet is a little less scary.
Warning. Detecting mech
Okay,
warrior
yeah,
interface. Warning. Weapon system
I
destroyed.
gotta get Beefeater straight out of there.
Waiting for orders.
Receiving you. Acknowledged.
Okay, so these are some welcome developments. We're basically going to be able to switch out the Blackjack for the Shadowhawk. I really got to figure out what I'm doing with Decker.
Back in action. Roger that.
So again, it's a
My mech is limping.
light mech with damaged legs is pretty useless. Let's see if we can get a sensor lock on. Nope. So we brace.
Hell yeah.
That was exciting. I mean, it's kind of smart because that means that the PPC's not focusing on the trebuchet, but it does mean that Beefeater's going to turn around and... Okay, this is good. I gotta be careful that I don't get, like, smacked with a bunch of missiles, but at the very least I can go from cover to cover. Okay, so... my preference, of course, would be to sensor lock the trebuchet, but it's just out of range, so... at the very least we can make the light mech sad.
Got a lock.
Ooh, this is gonna be bad for the blackjack. Jesus Christ. If I got knocked down, that'd be game over. Okay, so again, obviously Beefeater's gotta... in fact, this would be... God, this is such a tough one. I have, like, no armor left on this. Yeah, I think a full escape is the way to go here. I don't have a lot of guys in this fight anymore, though, so...
This is gonna be good.
God, that was amazing! The Locust comes up for a melee and then just glitch backhands him. Okay, so Shadowhawk, basically I'm going to need to get to jump into the fight if I can, but we'll at least close the distance and lob some missiles. And then I'm just hoping that buys me enough time to be able to get my other guys in position. As long as they're not able to get some kind of like a cheeky hit on my weak mechs, I should generally be okay. But
Yes, Commander.
But that's a big if, obviously. See, one temptation is to see... God, this is such a risk, but I'm going to see if I can somehow flank the trebuchet.
I've got a sensor lock.
Okay, again, I'm completely fine with this. The real question is whether or not I want to try and go toe-to-toe with this thing, or this one's probably good for... we'll just keep dropping the sensors.
Good to go.
Okay, so realistically, Glitch can stand and deliver with the PPC. Yeah, you know what?
Time to die.
Waiting for orders.
We're going to play a game called How Long Does It Take Behemoth to Get in Jump Jet Range?
Roger that. Target acquired.
Ready for orders. On it.
Again, I am completely tempting fate doing all of this, but...
Got a lock.
I hear ya.
Ready for orders.
Still not in range. Damn it. See, I'd really like to try and get in behind, but I think in this case I'm going to go for the thing that will guarantee me to get up to the level I need. No, there's no point in wasting the precision strike on that.
Confirmed.
Waiting on you, Commander.
So middle armor's the weakest, so I'm gonna switch things around. I will reserve Beefeater just to see what the... So it looks like it can't take on stuff that's down below like this, which makes me a little happier, I think. Again, I'm gonna on the chance that I'm wrong on this, I am gonna make sure that everything winds up in cover.
Sensor lock on target.
And again, we get the sensors, so that's a nice bonus. Oh Jesus Christ! How ballsy am I? Unimaginably is the answer.
Got it.
Commander. Lifting off.
I really better make this count, otherwise Decker is going to be a very, very sad boy.
Locking in already. Reporting critical hit. Waiting for orders.
Okay, so Glitch can't run in and save the day with a melee strike anymore, so...
Uh-huh.
Decker, we failed you, I'm so sorry. Oh my god, do I really risk my main character? Hell yes, I do.
Engaging jump jets.
I don't even get the precision strike anymore.
Engaging target.
Yes!
VMAC destroyed.
No guts, no galaxy. Alright, that's the last of them, Commander. Let's dust this dust off and go home.
Mission successful.
Oh my god, I'm very happy that that ended that way. That probably could have ended in a very, very sad way. I don't know how many of you are actually, like, watching. You know, a few people have gone to bed or are lurkers, but if there's one human being that saw what happened, I'll be happy. Excellent work, Commander. I was right to put my faith in you. You're a critical part of the restoration effort. 361,200. Probably some very substantial repair bills. Although it looks like, realistically... so we have lots of medium lasers. I think we still have replacement AC2s. And then Beefeater's out for 17 days. So, you know what? Phoenix Hawk and Trebuchet. Hey, thank you, Morgenthal, and Saint Curmudgeon. This also, for like experienced players, may not be as proud of a moment, but I'm very happy with how that turned out. So yeah, and again, I normally like to take the large laser, but in this case, a Trebuchet would be very cool to get, and to be honest, I've never used a Phoenix Hawk, so let's... It is described as one of the most elegant and agile mechs around, boasting good armor and decent weapons. Sadly, its heat buildup is also noteworthy. Yeah, so is my Jenner, so... hey, we got the large laser anyway. We've also got some medium lasers, which will be nice replacements for my... what I lost on the Blackjack. So let's get... like I said, that was going to be the last mission of the evening, but let's get the bookkeeping done, so when we come back to Battletech, we can jump in straight away. Okay. So first thing I want to do, actually let's just get the, I think we'll get some of the basics out of the way. So first thing is just a straight up repair job on the, hang on. He's already got, yeah, that cockpit mod, by the way, saved me having to, like, replace Decker. Anyways. I keep forgetting, like, I kind of keep forgetting how hot the Jenner actually runs, but beyond the fact that it got a little more caught than I wanted it to, that was actually more or less using the Jenner exactly the way it's supposed to be. Just run in, find what you need, ideally just unload everything, and then get out of there as soon as possible. Now, the Blackjack, again, I'm going to be looking to replace 2 medium lasers and AC, but I want to see if there's maybe any special gear that we find in the store, because I've been ignoring the store for a while, and I'm certainly I'm pretty, I mean, I've got a financial report coming up, so it's not like the perfect time for it's not the perfect time to go shopping, but I'm looking at 25 damage, 5 stability for a regular AC2, and 25. Okay, so 25 damage. Let's see if there's any more shooty we can buy planet side. Oh, right, it has like nothing. Oh, this X ammo. What's the deal here? Ammo bins contain the rounds needed for projectile-based weaponry with at least 1 bin required per weapon type. Ammo bins will explode and destroy their installed location when they receive a critical hit. LB2X ammo bins contain 25 rounds and may feed... Yeah, I just don't know what this X business is, though. Oh, wait, LB. Yeah, that's a totally different weapon. I do really enjoy some of these. I know I keep saying this, but I really do enjoy some of the dialogue. Okay, so there's no special items for me to get. I should have enough replacements, but let's double check. So, okay, so right torso, that's a medium laser. And then my right arm, I think, was the AC2, but there should also be ammo. No, it was a laser and right. Oh, we only have 1 left. Okay, I'll have to pick up some more on the next raid. How much ammo? Wow, 25 really is enough. I think I probably overburdened that Centurion now that I think of it.
I'll let you know when that's done.
Okay, so now the last really tough thing that I need to deal with is... So obviously this Blackjack is going to be a huge job. See, this is the thing that sucks, because, like... I don't actually need a light mech, but to have a mech that I can run with is definitely better than, like, waiting the 16 days. But that means, like, that's 20 days before one of my main mechs is available. I don't know. I think I'm going to work with that for now. The alternative is I take one of these light mechs and I put them in storage in favor of... What are some of my completes? So I've got a fresh Blackjack here. It's all energy weapons, though, and I don't think we have enough replacement energy weapons. Yeah, Commando? I don't think so. Yeah, Locust. Yeah, so it's all light mechs that I've got as... yeah, so I mean, I can replace the Blackjack with a Blackjack, but I don't have... I'd be basically committing myself to... Oh, actually, here's a better thing for me to think about. Beefeater's going to be out of commission for 18 days, so I don't really need him and his Blackjack. Although, again, it looks like the Centurion's out for a little bit. Okay. Let's wait for the financial report.
That work order's complete, boss. Top-notch
I've
work.
got the financial report.
Okay. End of month funds 4,705,615. Operating expenses 499,230. So we're still above 4 million. I think we're still going to do extravagant. This may wind up being quite costly because of the mech. Oh, actually, this is... Oh no, these are the ones that I have up and ready to go. So no, we're still fine with that. I am still going to do extravagant. This is going to cost me, and I'm going to need to make sure that I find enough jobs to cover it. But we should be okay there. Engineering. Let's.
What you need?
Nope. As much as I like talking with you, I just want some work. So it seems to me repair and refit is the way to go here. Getting that additional tech is going to help me with the repairs. Obviously, building up the infrastructure to be able to get things like more mech bays or training modules or whatever is also ideal. But clearly, I need to be working on getting some mechs back online as soon as possible. Also, let's see what the deal is. Barracks can support up to 16 mech warriors. That sounds expensive. So. +2 tech points. The Argo's mech cubicles have used to have a complex system of movable walkways and scaffolds for accessing any part of a damaged mech. Those walkways, once brought online, make the job of repairing mechs much simpler. The platforms around here are meant to move automatically when they detect the size of the mech we're working on, adjusting to be at just the right height. They're offline, but we've been working around that. But let's get them fixed and speed this up. Okay. So, how long are we waiting on that? That's 20 days, so the blackjack will not be online in time. Yeah, I'm okay with the work priorities. Centurion needs to go on because that's going to be one of my more damage absorbers. Jenner at least gets me, like, at least I have a full lance at that point. And I kind of prefer the Jenner to the Spider, if I'm completely honest. And then I basically have enough crew to be able to take us through. So we're out of commission for 8 days unless I can find an alternative job. Our options are tag team. Oh yeah, I wanted like the full, kind of wanted the full complement for that. Learton, 19 days. Okay. So those are tougher jobs. But if I'm waiting 19 days and my travel is paid for, I still don't have the blackjack. Yeah.
Kick off your shoes. Make yourself comfortable.
Yeah, I think I'll wait out for tag team. I'm definitely not ready for Thorn in the Side. I figure a 3 skull mission is a little too much to ask. But maybe we can take a minute on like Brilliant Minds or Incomplete Intelligence. See whether or not we're ready for a 2 skull mission, and we can move on to Panzer. I mean, we've already done a two skull mission before. Yeah, 23 days. So I'd actually be ready to go. I think I'd have everything for that. Not exactly. Okay. Yeah, so maybe we'll do one sort of side mission. Hopefully that won't be too big of a penalty, and then we'll maybe consider going to Panzer. I don't know. We'll see. Like, it's going to be 2 skull missions no matter what. But maybe a chance to see, what that difficulty looks like would be an idea. Anyways, I am wearing out my welcome. So it is December 11th. Thank you everybody for watching. I am very happy to be back. I think I'm going to do a couple of adjustments to the stream settings in the background. It was mostly like, honestly, I just wanted to see whether or not I could get by with software encoding, and it might even just be a Battletech thing. But there's no point in me messing around too much with that. I mean, I have the spare capacity. Morgenthau, thank you very much for the follow. And yeah, so to everybody who was wondering where I was, it was a little bit of a longer time away than I was expecting. If it was extended, I would have gone streaming on the. I would have obviously gone streaming on the Xbox, but in this case, I actually, like I said, I got a lot of interesting stuff done while I was away from stream. So while I didn't want to turn it into a habit. I thought it's like, okay, if the video card arrives by the 11th as scheduled, I don't mind missing those streams. Anything later, I did have something planned, but the thing is, it's actually, the thing I had planned was a really popular single player game, which I do want to play, but the problem with doing that would be, I know that, I know that people would like want me to finish it when I did that, and there's a bunch of other stuff that I need to do. So it's going to be back to the kind of the old routine. Battletech Heavy Metal. I also got a key for Age of Wonders Planetfall Revelation, so we'll be going back to that. I'd like to get back to Stellaris and Imperator Rome as well. I need to figure out exactly how I'm going to fit those into the schedule, and I've not forgotten about Darkest Dungeon. We will be returning to that as well, but obviously there's a lot for me to do. There's a couple of other games which I haven't started playing yet, which I would like to try and show, especially now that there's the new video card. But I'll figure that all out. Again, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and while there was no Elder Scrolls VOD on Tuesday, I'm going to be recording at least one new one, hopefully 2 over the weekend, so that we can get those back on track. I did have a little bit of a runway, but unfortunately, obviously one of those recorded episodes was the one where I discovered, or not, sort of, actually, yeah, I guess that was the first one that I discovered the video card problem, so totally not Valken. Guess what? I'm just about to finish, so my guesses will actually be very brief, but how about you tell me? And sorry to deny you the lovely music. I do just need to find somebody to host, so. You're hurrying. Oh, hey, Johnny Big Time is streaming. All right, I know who I'm hosting. I will say apologies to the Eyes of Sin, because I know someone that she mods for is streaming right now, but
For lack of a better
oh my god!
is good.
Sub-hype. Octavie Pepe.
Totally not Valken. Thank you very much for that. This is going to be going straight to my replacement video card. I was thinking you were going to tell me something really silly. Now I feel like a total scumbag for leaving. But thank you so much. That means a lot. Actually, I was going to say, I hope you have already got the that Paradox management bundle already, because that seems like money that you could have. That seems like money that you could have put towards getting yourself some games that way. But thank you very much for that. That means a lot. It's been a while. Like the donation, ever since Stream introduced the affiliates, donations have become more rare. And so one thing that I've learned is to appreciate them a lot more because of how infrequent they are. Obviously, that is, a level of commitment, and especially that amount. I mean, that's very generous. Obviously, that's something that is kind of an extra level of commitment, because it's basically a pure transfer from the person to the streamer. At least in the case of like a subscription or bits or anything along those lines, you're getting a little something for yourself. So yeah, I mean, that's absolutely incredible. Thank you very much. So. You thought it meant $20? Yes, my affection is measured exactly $20 worth. No, there's definitely something about the fact that the scarcity of it has definitely made donations take on a slightly different meaning, at least to me. I mean, again, I just like it when people are here. If people enjoy my stuff, that's great. Obviously, to have friendly folks like yourself making the stream a lot more enjoyable is great as well. But clearly, obviously everybody gives up their time for that money, and generally you do that so that you can get something that's very good for you. So clearly the fact that you were able to share some of that with me means a whole lot. So thank you very much. I am, however, going to stop stealing Johnny Big Time's thunder and bring you on to him. He's playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare. It's a very fun guy. He does get a little frustrated with Call of Duty Modern Warfare, but the thing is that he's actually really funny when he's frustrated. So hopefully he's sufficiently pissed off to show you guys a good time. As for me, there will be more Battletech in future, but I need to sort out exactly what days I'm doing everything on. So we will figure it all out on Friday. And no problem, totally not Valken. I've kind of forgotten my Discord exists too. There hasn't been a lot of activity there, but anyways, I'm gonna stop talking. Thank you very much. I'll catch you next time. Thank you, everyone, and we'll see you hopefully Friday. Well, no, I will be here Friday. Hopefully I'll see you Friday, and if not, we'll meet again. Don't know where, don't know when.